The Supernatural Dogshit podcast is controversial and confrontational and may cause offense to some. Listener discretion is advised.
Good evening, one. Good evening, all, and welcome to the Supernatural Dogshit podcast, live on this Thursday, the 1st of December, 2020.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, notice how we put in the date. What are you looking at the screen over there for? Oh, we've no camera.
It's black.
It is black.
Can you fix that?
I can fix that.
Thanks, Aiden.
But in the meantime, hi.
You want to introduce the show, everybody? Or should we just...
24 days till turkey and ham time, boys.
It's officially Christmas.
I had my first bit last week.
What?
I had my first bit of turkey and ham last week.
I
Get
did
in
too.
there early.
I got an old baguette there in O'Brien's.
Oh.
And I made your one get cranberry sauce. And she
Now.
had to get out from behind the deli and go down the aisles and get a old jar of cranberry sauce and put it in my roll with the stuffing and turkey and ham.
You weren't leaving without it.
Wasn't buying it without it.
So, sorry, lads, we're back on track here. Hello. We're on camera now.
Nice filling there. Thanks, Richie.
Good man yourself.
Well done.
So, we've a lot to get through to tonight.
Hit it.
A lot to get through tonight. I said that arse about face
Yeah,
the
look.
first time.
Yeah.
So, as usual in studio with me, we have Mr. Nathan Lynham,
Thank you very much.
Mr. Richard Quinlan, and our very special guest tonight, if you can't see past me, it is Mr. Pierce Fox.
How's everybody doing?
Ooh,
So-
the energy is high.
So, for anybody who's never seen Mr. Pierce Fox before, but who has heard him on the show, there
Yes.
is his beautiful mush right there.
And he's got glasses, so he's a certified scientist.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, he needs
I
to
got them cheap.
you need to get those patches on your elbows. You know,
Oh, I have a really good jumper like that. I'll wear it in some fancy night.
Yeah, do.
Do you actually have one with
I
that?
have an old woolly jumper with a bit of fucking cover.
You'd know, wouldn't you?
You would.
That like he's one of these intelligent, smart people.
No,
I guarantee you he's got two lab coats as well. One that's slightly off-white.
Why, yes. Why, yes,
It must
Teresa.
be the chemical burns like.
I just want to jump in. Why, yes, Teresa. I did get a haircut. Thank you for noticing. I appreciate it.
And I should show Teresa. So did I.
We all got haircuts. Ta-da!
I don't count.
Well, you cut your hair every 2 days.
Follically challenged.
Publicly challenged.
But yeah, I was hoping somebody would notice out there that I got a haircut. Thank you.
Hold on, we're all having a look at Pierce here now.
No, I haven't got a haircut in about 5 weeks.
So, but yeah, you losing it yet?
No, Jez, no, it's good and thick.
Do you think you'll lose it?
I hope not, to be honest with you.
Does your old boy lose it?
No.
Ah, you're in the shot, so.
You'll be
Yeah.
good.
No, I think it grows thicker at the sides than it does at the top anyway. So at the worst, I'll end up like a monk.
Mine started doing that when I was around 17.
Oh, okay.
You started losing it when you were 17?
Yep.
Oh,
That must have been.
When did you carve the island?
No. Finished
No.
school when I was 17.
Yeah, but didn't you?
School was rough for me, full
You
stop.
went to college, did you know?
Oh, yeah.
What did you study?
Music and music management.
How's that working out for you?
He's on the podcast.
this is true.
How is that working out for you?
Dude.
Is that a shut up, Aiden?
That's not a shut up, Aiden, as much as it is just, God, I'm grateful, though. Because everything I've done has led to me where I am now, and I'm happy where I am now.
Are you?
Yeah, a beautiful wife. I own my own home. I have 3 beautiful daughters. 2 cars. 2 jobs.
New car.
A doggo, a catto.
Would you have more kids?
Oh, yes. Oh,
So,
man.
Katie, if you're listening,
No, I had a vasectomy, so...
It's gone. It's done.
Yeah, she was incapacitated during her last pregnancy. She had
oh, I forgot your missus also
some
has.
physis pelvic dysfunction.
Yeah, she has some.
That thing.
Yeah, that thing.
Really bad.
That can almost kill her.
No. Next time it'll almost kill her. The last time it just paralyzed.
Would you not get some mother to play surrogate to you? That way you get the shag as well and
Well,
get the
the
permission.
deed is done, and I went for the old irreversible one.
You can't get it reversed.
Nope.
Did you not get your sperm frozen just in case?
No.
No?
There's plenty of it frozen to sheets all over the country.
Bum.
Yeah, boy.
Nicely done.
So, Mr. Lynham,
Yes.
anything interesting happened to you this week?
A few little things that happen.
Please.
Well, firstly, I got a haircut. Very happy with it. First haircut since March.
Can I just point out, I think this is the only podcast in the world, the only one, where when people are asked questions, they give the most mundane, I got a haircut. My car broke
I was just
down.
starting. I got new tires on my car today.
See?
Safety first. Safety
yeah.
first.
Fucking time.
There was wire coming through them.
Oh,
nothing to be proud of, man. Nothing to be proud of.
No. Well, at least I didn't crash. I made it. So anyway, I got 2 tires today. One is a Hancock.
You really raised
One
the
of
bar
them is
there.
a
Yeah. the other one's a brand I don't know.
Great for doing donuts then.
Yeah.
The Hancock will stick to the ground while the
The
others
other ones
just
go
spin.
around. Great idea. I got part worn tires.
Come on, Richie.
Right, so is
They don't,
one side of the car.
the treads don't match. So I wouldn't pass the test.
Won't pass the test, and if an old shikaloni feels like doing you at a checkpoint, they can now.
For what?
Well, that's actually leading into what happened to me last night.
For what?
Not having equal treads. Tread depth.
And
And,
they
the tread
they
pattern has to be the same.
Yeah, but they'd want to be fairly cocked on.
But tread depth doesn't have to be the same.
No, it has to be above 1.5 mil.
Yeah, exactly. But tread depth doesn't have to be the same.
No, it doesn't have to be, but the tread pattern
has to be the same. And I know that
because
from
you
the
could have
NCT.
a dry sport tire and a winter wet tire.
Your arsehole here has a slick.
No,
One
what-
slick.
done, fixed, tires got.
It's not fixed. You have to go back and get the same
And
tire for the other side.
The reason that I got tires was I actually got pulled 2 nights ago, got blue lighted by the guards.
Pity they
seen
didn't
the
fucking
sparks
lock
today.
you up and throw away the key.
Talked my way out of it. I was like, oh, I already got pulled today. I didn't. I was like, and he warned me.
And you're admitting this on air.
Yeah, it's
And I
grand.
wouldn't mind. He rings me up and he tells me this story. And he says to me, he said, I was talking to the guard and I said, oh yeah, I was pulled over by Enda yesterday. And the guy went, oh, Enda already had a chat with you. And
I was like, yeah.
he had a chat. He said, okay, right, that's you gone and see you, goodbye. And I said to him, who's Enda? And he went, oh, I don't know. He said, the guy you know. I said, Andy.
And I was like, oh shit, but there must be an end there.
There is an Enda, but he's not in Mullingar.
So I pulled it off.
Yeah. So he's now admitting, by the way, to lying on air.
Did you tax the car?
No, we're putting it in Aiden's name, so I don't have to back tax it.
Don't.
Yeah.
Jesus. Any more crimes you'd like to admit to?
That's not a crime. That's just evading tax.
Have you?
No. It's tax avoidance, not tax evasion. There's a difference. Okay.
What is the difference again?
Tax avoidance. Tax avoidance is legal. Tax evadance is not.
Yeah, but that's if you have tax in other countries outside of Ireland.
Look.
That's nothing to do with road tax, you moron.
I'm getting away with it. That's all that matters.
No, you're fucking
No,
not.
you're
I'm going down and reporting you. I'm giving them your reg, a description of the car.
Oh, they have that red description.
They know my car. Trust me.
And I'm going to go and plant drugs in it as well. Just somewhere you'll never think they are. And I'm going to give them an anonymous tip off.
But here's the problem, Richie. I have often thought if I wanted to get revenge on somebody that I, had to have revenge on.
Okay.
I was thinking, I'd plant drugs in them. And then I'm going, but then you have to buy drugs.
Yeah, then you could get done buying the drugs to plant on someone. Exactly. Imagine the guard like, what are you doing with these drugs? Oh, I'm buying them to plant on somebody.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
But not only that, it costs money.
yeah.
Like, right, if you get $2,000 worth of cocaine or
But if you're
something-
buying drugs to plant on somebody, I think that counts as conspiracy with intent to distribute.
And then what if I just found the $2,000 worth of drugs and just took them all anyway? Then you'd be fucked.
And so would you.
what would you do?
Dr.
if you-
Pepper, everybody. Don't
would
leave
you
the house
do
without it.
If
Sponsor us,
you,
please.
so misunderstood, by the way.
What?
Dr. Pepper.
So misunderstood.
Oh, it is so misunderstood.
What would you do if you came across, let's say you bought an old house, you
Right.
pulled out the bathtub, and under the bathtub was a briefcase, and in said briefcase was €300,000.
Mine.
In cash, like.
What would you do?
I take
Start spending it.
my plan of action from picking up the briefcase and realizing what's in it is get the briefcase, put the bat back, set the whole house on fire.
Oh, okay.
So whoever
Solid
left
plan,
that
like.
briefcase there, be like, oh well, it must have burned up in that fire. And then
Yeah,
I'll get my
yeah.
300k and buy a new house.
Oh.
Well, you have the insurance from that gaff as well.
But see, there's a reason why I asked this.
Why? Did you?
Because about 4 or 5 years
That's why
ago,
we're in a new studio.
in Dublin. I wish. About 3, 4, 5 years ago in Dublin, there was a TD who bought a house.
Okay.
And he had his bathroom remodeled. The plumber who was taking out the bath found a suitcase with €300,000 in it. The plumber gave it to the owner.
Oh, you gave a TD 300 grand.
Yes,
Yeah.
and then the TD handed it in to the police. Because apparently the
That's
house
the right thing.
was previously owned by a
Gilligan.
drug dealer.
Yeah, what are the chances?
So, what would you have done in that situation?
Never found it.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
That's exactly what I would do.
Pierce,
I'm
what would you
sorry.
do?
Yeah, to be fair, like I'm going
It's
on a
300.
holiday.
Yeah, it's 300 grand. Like,
I'm just going. I'm going to go down to the airport and I'm just buy.
yeah, I'm out.
Yeah.
But the problem is you can't bring that 300 grand with you.
Oh, you can. Just a couple of flights, 9,999
Yeah, you can
euro
only
every
bring
time.
less than 10 grand.
You don't want to be red flagged by cab. How do cab even get involved?
Oh, Criminal Justice Bureau.
Yeah.
I don't even want to know.
They have to get tip-offs. Tip-offs.
Oh, they do. They do all the time, but there's a lot of forensic accounting, I'd say, goes into that. Forensic accountancy is crazy.
But surely they must have a tip-off first. This guy, his means doesn't match. His outgoings
Sure, it
doesn't
could-
match his means.
It could come from revenue. Do you
Yeah,
know what I mean?
revenue,
If
suspect
revenue-
anything.
But how would revenue know? Because revenue don't know what you have in your bank account.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
But
They're not supposed to, but
they
they
know
do.
what your earnings are.
They know what your earnings are through your P60 at the end of the year.
So let's say you have a chip shop, right?
Yeah.
And it's all in cash. Revenue will know how much an average chipper will do based on the location and whatever, and they will literally send someone down to sit in the shop for a couple of hours and watch your customer flow, and from that they'll estimate your annual earnings. If your return doesn't match that, then it starts getting flagged and things can start being dug into. So they do the same with any industry.
Because the likes of, what was that guy's name, the criminal who ended up in Portlaoise prison? What was his name? He's out. I think he's out now. Veronica Guerin, the guy Veronica Guerin.
John Gilligan.
John Gilligan. Cab was set up because of him, was it?
Yeah.
Was it not?
Criminal assets.
That's the reason Cab was set up.
Because of John
Yeah.
Gilligan. As
Yeah,
far,
I didn't know that.
far as I know.
So they could legally seize the assets.
And then when
in
they
America,
when
they
they
have civil asset forfeiture, which is basically the cops stealing your shit.
But then they brand it and get themselves a new car.
Huh?
I like that. But so what happens? Let's say they do seize 300 grand. What actually happens to that? Does
If
that-
you can't prove where you got that from,
yeah, they take it.
They take
but
it.
where does that money go? Does it go back
Paddy
into
the
the
plasterer
system?
gave me a tip on the horse, like.
That's a good question.
Does it go back into the system? Is it just burnt? Is it destroyed?
Well, they can't destroy the money because that's against the law.
Why is that against the law?
You can't. If you pick up a fiver now and burn it on that camera, it's against the law.
Yeah, because you're destroying. It's not your
Government-
money to
it's
destroy.
government property.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense.
It doesn't belong to
didn't
you.
know that,
It
though.
belongs to the mint.
Did you know?
So how the hell did those guys years ago on the Late Late Show get away with burning £1 million live on TV?
I've never seen this either.
Art.
Yeah.
Well, see, these two guys, they were music producers, and they were
was
like,
art.
it's so easy to make money these days. I bet we could make £1 million, and it's so unimportant that we can burn it on live TV. So they did that. They burned £1 million at the time. Punt.
On live telly.
On live TV with Gay Byrne on the Late Late Show.
Rest in peace, Gay Byrne.
Now, here's the thing. Why didn't they give it to charity?
Because they're assholes.
That's my biggest gripe to it. Why did they not just give this money to the needy rather than burn it? But there was never any follow-up. They destroyed government property and there was never any follow-up to it.
Yeah.
It was art.
Yeah, obviously that's probably the.
Same as the copyright doesn't apply if you use like a brand logo, like McDonald's logo, in a piece of art. Like, you know, McDonald's can't sue you for
Yeah.
like, copyright infringement.
Yeah, but what if I decided to slip you a few sleepers and bend you over that table and insert one finger in your anus
Well, that's
on,
rape.
on camera,
Well, that's the thing.
and then turn around and say it was art?
Yeah, but you.
Did I consent to it?
No.
Well, then it's not art.
But the government never consented to the money being destroyed.
They could
It
have.
didn't belong. No, they didn't. They didn't. We know that for a fact.
Oh well. Well, they increased the value of everybody else's money by a little bit then because
Tiny
they
bit.
reduced
A
the
couple of cents.
Smidgen.
Yeah.
A smidgen.
JJ says here, sorry I'm late, guys. I had better things to do.
Oh, JJ.
Oh, speaking of JJ, he did send me in a polished version of that.
Are we going to use it? Also,
we are
Megan's
gonna
here. She says the boys.
Random Megs.
So,
We're going to use it.
On to Richard.
Did anything interesting happen to
Anything?
me?
Yes.
I took receipt of my new car.
You did.
My new old car.
Ooh,
So-
lovely. What you get?
For the folks at home,
It's a 2-litre automatic petrol cash guy.
It's a sow on
Nice.
juice.
my silence should be enough.
Listen,
Automatic 2-litre petrol says
it's
enough.
so comfy.
Cheap.
And expensive tax.
Yeah.
How much?
736 for
Oh,
the year.
Oh, it's nearly as dear as mine.
That's not as bad. That's nearly like the old 2-litre diesel, though. That's not wild.
Yeah. Mine's 1.9 and it's 673 for the year.
Okay.
Yeah, mine's 1.9.
Not that I taxed it or anything.
It's coming. It's coming.
Mine's 500 for the year.
Because it's
But yours is 08.
Oh, wait, yeah.
It should be less.
No.
Yeah, I think mine's like 180.
Yeah. But you have a,
What
dust,
do
you have a
you-
duster.
Yeah, I love me duster.
You're driving a Duster?
I am. Yeah.
New Duster or
No. That's like 17.
Anybody hear
the
that?
reason his is cheaper is because he has a diesel particulate filter in his.
Just bear with us a sec there, Richie. Nobody else heard that?
I can hear it. I can hear it.
The buzz. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little.
I think it's coming from the desk underneath, not this desk.
Okay, let's hope it's not going.
Let's just keep
right.
talking so we can't hear
Yes.
it.
If anyone hears it, please comment.
Yes, please let us know.
Richard.
New car.
Yes. Your new car.
What colour is it?
It's like a bluish silver.
Okay.
It's a very nice color.
What put you into that car? Out of all the 2-litre petrol
Options.
automatics that you could possibly get.
I agree with Pierce.
This one, right? Basically, what I do is cheap car run around. Like,
Yeah.
my missus has a nice car, and then I have the banger. And whenever my car runs out of NCT, I drive it straight to the scrapyard, get 50 quid for it, and go back to the boys on the forecourt because I work in a garage.
Yeah.
What's the cheapest thing with the longest NCT? And they'll go, this one's €300, this one's €200, this one's 50 quid, this one's 80 quid.
Fair enough.
I'll go, I'll take that one. And then I will drive the fucking living bag out of it.
Right.
I can
Do it again.
park it up against walls, I can drive over ditches.
Yeah.
I'll do what I like with it.
How long is the NCT on this one?
The NCT on this one runs out in October of this year. Or next year.
That's
I was hoping it wasn't this year.
October of next year. And it's taxed till January. But it was there was no cars. Because of this COVID thing, nobody's been trading in their bangers.
How much will you get for not a trade in the scrapyard?
50 quid.
Oh, for this?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll get a ton of money for this.
How much?
I'd actually...
No, the gets.
Oh, the Gets got me 50 blips.
So did you trade it in and all?
I drove straight up to the scrapyard earlier now. I did a couple of handbrake turns.
It's on the way out.
It's fucked. The clutch is gone. It needs shocks. It needs brakes.
I don't care. I wanted that car for something.
For what?
I would have bought it off you. I would have given you 50 quid.
For what?
Because you know the old Astra, not the Astra, the Vectra.
Vectra,
Yeah.
we have that, yeah.
If we had the Vectra and we had your Gets, we also have an airfield where we could play bumper cars.
But we came up with the idea of that it's petrol, so 2 petrol cars crashing, not so good.
Flamage.
Flamage.
All I'd say about the Gets is it was that fucked that you wouldn't be able to have fun in it. Because there's no clutch.
It's gone.
But the person in the Vectra could have fun crashing into the Gets.
Do you want a Lexus LS 460?
Excuse me?
Are they rear wheel drive?
Yes,
Yes.
the big...
Yes, we do.
It's a 4.6 V8. It's about 360 brake. It's automatic. It's 0.7. It has a fresh NCT but no tax.
Wait, what?
It's like 1,500 to tax for the year.
About 1806. Yeah.
Okay, how much is how much for this car?
Take 4.5.
Grand.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's worth considerably more.
we're not reckoning that.
No.
I know a man by the name of Darren O'Hara who would probably buy that off you.
Oh man, if you actually know him and he actually is interested, let him know.
Well, he's just going to rip everything that's nice in it out of it and make a race car out of it.
So-
That'd be a cool ass car.
It's a bulletproof engine. It's a bulletproof gear change. You know, like it's there.
I know
if
the
he wants
car
it.
you're on about. It's a boost.
Yeah. Silver yoke.
Yeah. Have you ever seen them like with this when they do them static and they lower them, drop them to the ground with the camber? They look
I
so cool.
really want to do that, like
They
you do
look
with the
so-
Toyota Chaser.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I am so against camber. It's not right.
No, camber's cool.
It's a
Camber's
waste
not
of tire.
fucking cool.
okay, small camber.
No, it's a waste of tire.
Yeah, of course.
Proper
have you
camber.
seen this camber on people do?
Yeah, or the one where they're like literally driving on the corners.
Yeah.
You get 10 miles out of a tire.
We saved this for the car episode.
Yeah, I'm sitting here nodding my head.
You don't know
going,
what camber is?
Lots of people. No, of course I know what camber is, but lots of people who are listening going,
Yeah.
"What the fuck
Sean
are they
Farrell's here. He
talking
says Richie's car is dope.
about?" Is that the new car? or
Yeah,
the old car?
Sean, let us know. Is that the old one or the new one?
Shout out to Sean. He is delivering food tonight. We know we love food delivery guys in this
We do,
podcast.
yeah.
We do love food
He's
delivery
out
guys.
flinging pizzas into people's faces for Karamiko. Fair fucking play to him.
You know what he forgot to do tonight?
Not be a smelly, dirty piece of shit.
Social media. Guys,
No,
you
he
can get...
forgets that every day.
Will I do it?
Yeah.
Guys, you can get us on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, and Podbean after the show. Our website, supernaturaldogshit.com. Our phone number to contact the show is...
085 2727 212.
And guys, give us a share on Facebook.
I'm
We
going
really...
to learn that.
Yeah, you will. We actually have a little clip we're going to play from Polly Martin. We've got to edit that out and use that.
Done and all. I didn't put it in the board. though.
Anybody who was listening last Thursday, how great was Polly Martin?
He was awesome.
I've watched that podcast back twice already.
It's the first one I've watched the whole thing back.
The
way.
only problem is last week we did have some audio issues that I noticed afterwards.
Just so slight.
Just echo.
I didn't really notice them in the second half. That's why I went to watch it all back.
Yeah,
Man, Polly's so good.
he's so.
Polly,
talented.
thanks so much. We were great.
Did you see Polly?
No, not yet. Sorry, I've had a busy week.
You should give it a go.
Every song he did was an original bar one.
Cool.
He's so good, man.
So fucking talented.
Really talented. Megan just commented in, she goes, slanted wheels. That's camber. Yes, that is camber.
So, Mr. Fox, anything interesting since we last saw you?
Plenty interesting.
Please
Plenty boring.
indulge us.
Anything you can share?
Actually, that's a better question.
I was thinking. I had a thought there, yeah.
Feck all, I've been just working on projection mapping a bit. That's the kind of the new thing I'm kind of doing at the moment to make my art light up a bit better.
Oh, your art. I thought you were talking about your actual other work.
No.
Projection.
Projection mapping. So you know the way you see like there could be an event where the front of the building is all lit up and the pillars will do one thing.
Yeah.
and
Oh,
the
yeah,
wall will do
yeah,
another.
yeah.
That, but on a like smaller scale.
Okay.
So like you'd have a bit of art and like part of it would do one thing and another part would do another thing and it'd all be lit up. Like so instead of putting a light inside it, you're projecting onto it.
How much fucking time do you have in your hands?
enough to be in doing nothing.
He's here on the podcast, isn't he?
That's amazing.
I was only talking to you last week. You were saying you're going back to the early shifts or something.
Yeah, I'm back on days now. I'm back on days the last little while, and
I'd
it's
say you're
lovely.
delighted.
Now, is it killing you though, getting up?
No, I'm getting used to it. I am
Good
getting used
stuff.
to it.
Good
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Excellent.
Richie, can I put you on the spot?
Go on.
The sponsor of our lovely show, socialcore.xyz.
Well, you already said it. It's done.
I got a phone call during the week.
Yes.
From Richard,
Right.
and he said to me, he said,
Oh, yeah.
you know what we need to do? We need to record that bit.
Oh yeah, we can just hit play.
So we just can press play, so he
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
have to
yeah,
do it
yeah,
every
yeah,
week.
fair.
Yeah, because every week I have to go, so there's this guy called Scott and this guy called Corey, and they made this website, socialqr.xyz.
Can I say what I told you during the week about?
What, cutting in over fucking people when
Yeah,
they're about to
exactly.
do that fucking ads?
No,
The sponsor.
I didn't think you were going to bother doing it.
He was. We all knew he was going to do it.
I didn't. Do you
Of
remember?
course, because you just jump in all the time.
Do you remember what I told you during the week about the lads?
Wait. Please.
Sorry.
Anyway, before Nathan rudely interrupted, socialqr.xyz, so say you're a budding artist and you have a Spotify, a SoundCloud, a Facebook, an Instagram, a YouTube, a Snapchat. Go on socialqr.xyz and consolidate them all into one handy portable QR code that you can put on stickers. You can stick it to your granny. You can put on a sticker and stick it to some fat guy. You can put on a sticker and stick it up in the chipper. People can scan it and they're brought directly to your stuff.
Handy way to distribute a portfolio.
Yeah.
Socialqr.xyz.
We should also.
It was nicely done.
We should also point out tonight's topic
Ah,
and
yes.
why we have Mr. Fox in studio. We did have. I'm sorry, Mr. Fox, but there was somebody else lined up, and you were last minute. And
Really,
nobody
calling
likes,
me at 25
nobody
to
likes
9 on a Tuesday, like,
nobody
is
likes to be
well
second,
planned, is it?
Nobody likes to be second best. No, but you'll understand.
Except for
why.
Garfunkel.
You'll,
Shows how
under-
much I've going on in my life.
no, you'll understand why I wanted the other person over you. And that sounds so horrible.
No, that's
Just
fair.
stop talking,
That's
Aiden.
natural order in life, really, isn't it?
The other person is a brown person.
All right.
It'll make sense.
Oh, okay.
So you get it now. So
Right.
the other person
You wanted an opinion of someone of colour.
who is a migrant.
Right.
Yeah, because tonight's topic is: do you welcome more Syrian migrants into the country after we lift the restrictions in 2021?
What?
So it seems like for once, well, not for once, that myself and Pierce agree on this, and Nathan and Richie are on the right spectrum.
We are.
I'm
Do you know,
actually
actually-
on the left.
Oh.
We're actually aligned on the desk. If you look
Yeah.
towards the door.
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Yeah. No, me and Richie are definitely together on this one. So
Yeah.
bring it, bitches.
Yeah, I just. are
You're
you
wrong, like.
Are you
No.
going to be putting on your Wurzel Gummidge racist head tonight?
What?
Your what? Wurzel Gummidge?
Who?
He's going to be getting out that scalp wax.
You was Wurzel Gummidge? No?
No.
No.
Wurzel Gummidge?
You're old, man.
For
It's
fuck's
because
sake,
you're
lads.
old. You all just know old shit.
Wurzel Gummidge was a scarecrow that used to come to life, and he had different heads that he could take off his head, and
Actually,
one
know who you're
he could
talking
be
about
the
now.
brave
was thinking Lex
scarecrow
Luthor.
or the intellectual scarecrow. Well, it was a terrible program. It used to frighten the shit out of me when I was.
So
a
you're
kid.
saying basically he's going to put on his racist head tonight.
Yes, that's what I'm
I
asking.
get
Is
that,
he
I
going
get
to put
that.
on his racist head tonight?
So Aiden,
But wait now. What's racist about protecting the interests of your own people?
Yeah.
Over the
Nothing.
interests
Nothing.
of other
Less
people?
of
Nothing. This
that.
is why I'm asking. I'm wondering, will you bring on your racist?
I'm gonna bring my nationalist head.
Okay, that's fair.
Supernatural
It's only two
Dogshit.
steps
That's why you're
away.
wearing a green jumper, is it?
God save the
Where's
Queen.
my brand shirt?
Still in the wash.
Yeah, and next week I'll bring my black and tan shirt.
Oh. But anyway, Mr. Doyle.
This cunt is Welsh.
I'm not Welsh.
His
Welsh.
his second name's partly like Welsh, or his first name.
His
Your second-
mother's maiden name.
Yeah, there you go.
Is Welsh.
Oh, can we ask
is
Pierce
it?
what his
Hold on, what is it again?
Bevan.
Bevan Max. Bevan.
Can we ask Pierce that question?
Pierce. So were you listening to the
He wasn't.
episode where we were asking what your porn name is?
No.
So
Okay.
you know how to get your porn name.
It's like your first pet.
First pet and
Mother's
mother's maiden name. What's
So?
yours?
Peter Byrne.
That is an Irish porno if you've ever heard of it.
Literally sounds like the perfect
Peter
CV.
Byrne in Oh, I'll Fix That Sink.
How's your haircut?
Can I just ask, what fucking animal did you have that you called Peter?
Peter. Cat.
Peter the cat.
Peter the cat.
Was he a ginger cat?
No, he's black.
He's so much to work with and you picked Peter.
Peter, of all things.
So
Yeah, his
plain.
brother was called Paul.
I once.
Oh, that makes sense. Peter and Paul.
I once had a cat, and I promise you this: I hate cats. I detest the bastards. I don't like being around
I
them.
used to until I got my cat.
I just don't like them.
We all know
Full
that
stop.
because that's what happened to John Joe.
John Joe is a different story. It was nothing to do with me. Listeners don't need to know about that. So,
Comment if you want to know about John Joe.
since a young child, I hated cats.
Yes.
But a friend of mine who is an animal lover, not an animal lover, but like
They may as well be that.
he likes animals, and he got me a kitten. And he said, I think this will do you good in your life. Take care of this cat. It's something you don't like. See how you get on with the cat. Yeah. So I named the cat Assface. And I promise you, everybody, he did go missing.
Everybody called the cat Assface.
Everybody called the cat Assface.
Here, Assface.
Even my nephews, and a stranger would go, "Oh, that's a lovely cat." Yeah, his name is Assface.
Did he look like that weird? Do you have an ass for a face?
No,
Or face for an
that's
ass?
just because I didn't like the little asshole.
Oh.
So I called him Assface. But he disappeared after a while.
So is that your story of what happened to you this week, Aiden?
No, nothing happened to me this week.
So Aiden, did that happen to you this week?
I spent the vast majority of the week seeing could I break my masturbation record.
And did you?
No.
What is your record?
I'm
What's your
old.
record in one day?
13.
Busy day.
Yes, unlucky for some.
Namely the fucking person doing the what?
That takes effort. Now, here's the thing. You do end up with damage.
Yes, you do.
Oh, the old friction burns kick in, like.
Friction.
Yeah. Lube is your friend.
Up in and around the helmet area.
Yeah, the testes get a bit sore too.
Oh, they can empty out, like, and then a bit of a vacuum.
Yeah.
Actually, a lot of lads have this common problem, a tight foreskin.
Used to have.
Now
that
me.
problem.
Okay, so I, all of my life, have had... Now, it's not super tight. It's not like one of those that just doesn't come back at all. It does roll back. But when it does, it stretches the skin. So the skin that's stretched around it starts to crack.
Why are we talking about your foreskin?
And then, after a while,
It's cracking.
It starts to bleed.
Oh, Pierce.
But I could have that for maybe... The cracks and the bleeds, I could have on my penis for about 3 months.
Lovely.
That sounds like herpes. Get it checked.
It should heal after what?
Sounds like the third half of the show to me.
A week. So let's all put our Wurzel Gummidge intelligence heads on for a second and ask, why does it take 3 months for my penis to heal?
Because
you don't leave it alone.
Because you keep going.
I am a fucking trooper. I just, no matter what, you've done this.
You
Have
should literally be wanking with antiseptic gel at this point.
God.
Something just to keep it clean.
This is what I got the fake vagina for that these assholes ruined on me.
We did ruin it.
That was so much fun.
Yeah.
It
What'd
was
you do?
fun.
That was one of the first times I ever met Richie.
Stretched it over Aiden's head.
With olive oil.
And I was messing with it. I threw it in the air, let it slap on my head. It went like off the top of my head, and we were laughing. Then I went to throw it in the air, and it stuck to the ceiling.
Yeah.
And then the rest was just history. We just started beating it and stretching it and throwing it at
Football.
each other.
Have you seen that clip where someone puts it on the back of an exhaust?
I goes.
Oh, we should have done that.
It's amazing.
So, question for you, and a question for all you lads. So, Richie, you're in a relationship.
And a question for the
Yes.
listeners. You can answer this, guys,
You
too.
can answer this question 085 27 27 212.
Or just comment on
Text
Facebook.
or WhatsApp or comment on Facebook or YouTube.
Send the picture.
I would also like to point out that maybe from next week we might be going YouTube only.
No more Phoebes.
So what'll happen is you will see the feed coming up in your Facebook, and all you have to do is click on that. It'll redirect you automatically. You don't have to do anything crazy, but just listen to us on YouTube. It is the only way that we can get monetized and make a fortune out of this, and then look down our noses at all of you listeners.
No, we can afford to put on a better show for those people.
Exactly.
That's not my goal.
Of course it is.
My goal and Nathan's.
It's my goal for sure.
If he doesn't die in the meantime.
Yeah.
You're going to get a green room.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that'll be alright,
Now,
so.
I wonder how you know we were going to have a green room.
No, I was just asking, talking about monetizing. I was like, no, I want cups of coffee.
Oh, well, see, we did have that.
We did have that.
That's true.
We did have that, and but unfortunately, they're so fucking expensive. Those Tassimo pods, they work out at $150 each.
No,
Per coffee?
Yes.
No, the Keurig cups. You can get refillable ones of them now. It's just a little aluminium container. And
If you just get the ordinary espresso machine, put your powder in, tamp it down, in and go. Like,
Yeah.
sure, you're just working off grounds, like.
yeah, but this little aluminium Keurig thing,
I know,
you
the
tamp it
lens-
down anyway.
Yeah.
And you put a little cap on it and you stick it in the machine.
But
Yeah.
Richie, how did you not enjoy the pods?
Oh, I did until I got home and was up all night looking at the ceiling going, what's wrong with my brain? Oh, I drank 80 espressos during a podcast.
The idiot was making cappuccinos out of the espresso.
Oh, nice. That's tasty work, like.
For weeks.
So I
But
was,
no, espresso is a cappuccino's an espresso with like flat milk.
Yeah.
And someone else, if you know what the answer is, go into online because I can't remember how to make an espresso.
my
Or
problem
like a
was,
cappuccino.
my problem was I was filling a whole coffee cup with espresso, and then drinking 4 or 5 of them during the 3 hours.
Oh, you just had like straight espresso with like the smallest bit of milk on top.
Yeah, and boom, boom, drinking it like Americanos, like.
Yeah. I used to do that with the percolator towers things.
Oh, yeah.
You get one of them and you get like a 6-cup one and it makes one real cup. And
What a real Trucker's delight.
So back to my question.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Have you ever had a cold or flu and your missus wants to do a bit of jiggy with you?
Right.
And because you're a man, if you go near a woman with a cold or flu and it's like, we want to make love, she will think of her health and her well-being, and she'll be like, no.
I don't know what sort of women you're seeing.
Me as a man, respectable ones.
Continue.
If there ever was an
I got burned.
So, as a man, when you are dying with the cold or the flu, and if your wife offers you sex or girlfriend, you still do it. True or false?
baby, text in
True.
and let them know I don't know the answer.
Yeah, true, of course.
It is true. You trooper on true.
Yeah, and then you have to stop halfway through and go, sorry babe, my nose, and go, then you continue.
I genuinely remember.
I've done it.
I honestly got
that's the
this
reason, yeah.
Today.
true
No,
story.
seriously.
I was dying with the flu, running a really high temperature, sweat pissing out of me, runny nose, just a horrible feeling in my head the whole time. So, and I was offered sex. I said, sure, why not? I literally collapsed during sex.
Amazing.
That must have been good.
Pity you didn't fucking die, huh?
But, and you want to hear something nasty? You want to hear something really nasty?
Yeah.
So, in the middle of sex, she said to me, oh, you must be sweating. You're dripping on my face. It was snot.
It's snot running down your face. Snot. That's disgusting. That's disgusting.
So, Mr. Fox,
Aye.
have you ever troopered through having sex with a cold or a flu or some sort of ailment?
I think
With a man or a woman?
I think I would just fucking laid me back and thought of Ireland at the minute, like.
Let them do the work.
Yeah, I'm sick, like, you know, I'm an invalid.
But what if you were asked to do the work?
For those who don't know, Teresa won't have a clue. Teresa, that's the Irish national anthem. Just
Yep.
She also said, she's just after commenting a lot of sicky faces. But she says, use the refills. K-cups are so much wasted plastic.
Yeah.
For 1 second there, when you said use the refills, I was genuinely thinking something sexual.
No, I was going back at.
Yes, I was wondering where that was going.
One of them washable condoms.
I can just
that used to
see
be
you
a
on the
thing.
stream dancing.
That washable condoms used to be a thing.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Do you not remember I had a headline? That was
Oh,
that.
there was a headline.
I had a headline.
There was some brothel was washing them and reusing
Yep.
them.
Not a brothel. It was a factory, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a factory.
Chinese.
They were resealing them. It was Thai. It was Thai.
Thai.
I think Pierce was there for that episode. Believe it or
I
not,
think I was actually,
I think he
yeah.
happened to be there for that episode.
Pierce there in the factory with a clipboard going, yes.
This quality is good.
No holes in this one. This must be fine.
No holes.
Just thinking, how am I going to get this money past cab when I get home?
Can you imagine having a job as a condom tester?
Yeah, and I remember asking where would they get them. Richie was like, brothels.
But no, is that a thing? Is there such thing as a condom?
Well, there's a quality control.
No,
Well, they're going to,
yeah.
it's a polymer, so you're going to be looking at the tensile strength, based on like expansion or heat or whatever. You're going to use these properties to assess the polymer.
None of these properties do I
care
no,
care for.
Expansion, no.
No, you're going
Heat,
to care about
no.
it bursting inside someone with the HIV.
What?
If you're riding somebody and they have the HIV.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way,
Your
it
condom
is
burst their ribs.
It is very
International HIV Day, and you know, big
Ah,
up to all
brought
those.
up.
Which
Yeah.
today is.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So, does anybody know how many people in the UK in 2018 died of
Would you
AIDS?
care to aid me with the facts
with
and
an
figures?
answer?
Hey.
So, do you know?
No.
I can't be HIV positive, I know the answer.
Okay.
Are you COVID negative though?
Oh, I'm gonna go with 10.
Which is now what I missed out.
So
He's
He's
still
lost in my eyes.
how many
But it's not your
people-
chest anyway.
How many people in 2018 died of AIDS in the UK?
Well, it would be AIDS related because it just
you don't die
I'm
of AIDS.
thinking,
Yes.
you know, I'm thinking like single digits at most.
I'm gonna go.
I said
double
10.
digits.
2 people.
I said 10.
2 people.
2 people. That's how far we have come along with HIV.
It's
How
not
many
a life
people? How
sentence,
many
like.
people died of it in
A single
Eritrea?
pill. That's
Where?
all it takes to keep it
Eritrea.
safe.
Really?
Yeah.
You can just live on with it.
You can live on with it, yeah. Like, you mean, it just kind of suppresses the viral load and you're just living ordinary life and you just get on with it.
Was there some crazy shit in the state of California in America where people are like trying to discriminate, like saying they're being discriminated against for having AIDS and with their partners, and that people shouldn't have to tell people that they're HIV positive now?
Which is bullshit.
Yeah,
It should be
bullshit.
like the sex offenders list. There should be a list of people who are HIV positive.
Nah, that list shouldn't be published. You're entitled to medical privacy.
You're right,
Which is
actually.
medical
You
condition.
are entitled to medical privacy, but if you look at our current circumstances, you're not entitled to medical privacy with the COVID.
People ask you,
are.
what's your...
Yeah,
what's
no,
your
No, you send off, you get your
Okay.
result, and then it's not posted in the town square.
Qantas Airline.
Yeah.
Hey, that's not here. though.
Qantas Airline, no, but they fly from here. Qantas Airline want everybody who goes on their plane to be vaccinated,
Right.
against.
That's fair enough. That's a private business, and I think that's going to blow up in their faces big time.
I
But
don't
it's,
think it will.
It's like traveling to certain countries. You need to be
To get your
vaccinated
jabs,
for
yes.
like yellow fever or whatever.
Or it's like when me and Aiden were in the shop and not wearing masks, and your mom's like, well, what's your medical illness?
yeah,
he called us out.
Yeah, he had no right to ask
No.
that. But
Why the fuck weren't you wearing masks?
because lung disease,
It doesn't do nothing to your
I
oxygen
cannot
saturation.
breathe. Have you seen me walk up them stairs?
No.
Yeah, we'll go out and we'll walk up the stairs.
It's bad, it's bad.
Like yesterday, I was lifting something up the stairs. I can't remember what. By the
Okay,
time I
like-
got up,
like-
the sweat was.
We're all
hissing out of
anti-maskers.
No, I worry-
me. No, I'm not an anti-mask.
I'm not anti.
I am.
I'm
I'm
not
not an anti-mask.
anti-mask, right? I'm anti everybody getting on their high horse and freaking out.
I'm anti. I'm
God
anti.
damn it, Pierce.
Anti-fear mongering.
Anti-fear mongering would
Yeah.
be
I
the
feel
best.
safer now.
I love how he has it over the earphones.
You kind of
Brilliant.
look like a serial killer.
It really accentuates your lips.
Oh, we see your tongue.
Can we just do a real quick test, Pierce? Watch. Blow out this lighter with your mask on. See how much protection your mask is doing. See what I mean? Nothing.
That's a bit.
But the thing is, everybody is so scared and wound up at this point.
Yeah.
It's fucking. It has reached critical mass.
Well, I actually was listening to the radio the other day, and there was a woman who had a child that suffered with OCD.
Right.
And it was the type of OCD where she cleans her hands all the time.
Yeah.
Now, OCD is a real thing.
It is, yeah.
Oh, it can be bad.
Very, very real.
It can be very crippling.
But since this COVID stuff came out, now she's only 8-9 years of age. She washed her hands so much that they bleed.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Quite
Yes.
common in people with OCD.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yes.
Let's stop talking about COVID and let's do my bit.
What's your bit now?
We're running out of time. Same one.
We are running out of time.
Weird headlines.
Weird headlines from around the world, bringing you the strange, the dumb, and the funny. Brought to you by Nathan Lynham.
Mr. Lynham.
Thank you, Mr. Doyle. Richie, you love my bit. Don't look at me like
I'm going
that.
to do what you do, and I'm going to cut in on you.
Okay.
You have the shitest headlines.
No problem.
They
It's
are.
okay.
They're not even headlines.
No,
They should be
see,
called arse lines.
This is how the headlines work. We lead on to different things from my headlines and end up filling time and
because your headlines are so bad, we have to vamp.
That's even happened with the good ones.
The thing is, you said that his headlines are shit. Shit is a very useful thing. You can act as a fertilizer.
That's why I said they should be called arse lines.
Things can grow out of shit.
Whoa, are you defending me?
So
No.
No, he's just chastising my
Are these
words.
more like the skid marks of society?
That's why I'm looking for a better word than shit headlines.
Okay,
Scum
fair.
lines.
So we go with the
Lines.
first one.
Lazy asshole, didn't put in enough effort.
That is it.
There we go.
I put in some effort today, thanks very much.
Okay, so
Anyway, my first headline. Coin removed from man's nose after being stuck there for more than 50 years.
Was he from Cavan and Savannah?
Communion money.
was he up to the nose?
They finally won the cup, like.
See, my headlines invoke funny shit. Thank you very much.
Was he Jewish?
Oh.
He's actually Russian.
Ah, okay. Right, go on with your story.
He wasn't
yeah.
rushing to get that out.
Yay! It ain't funny, it ain't funny. 59-year-old unnamed Russian man. He was aged just 6 when he wedged the money into his right nostril. And he was too scared to tell his strict mother about that and later forgot. So this went on.
She didn't notice it anyway.
No, definitely not. He managed to live the next 50 years unimpeded by the blockage until recently he started complaining that he could not breathe through his right nostril. rhinoliths, which are stones that grow in the nasal cavity, started to form. Rhinoliths, yeah. I'm right. Medics carry out an endoscopic surgery under general anesthetic, removing the stones, and retrieved the Soviet 1 kopeck coin from his nose after 53 years. I saw the picture. This thing looked vile. It was coral growing on the coin.
Ooh. It's a bit of a disgusting headline.
It was a big coin.
How do we all feel about that headline?
Oh my god.
Next.
I didn't even get far. I can't even talk. Pilots use jet to draw penis in sky in support of masturbating footballer.
Brilliant.
Yes.
Better?
That's better.
I like that.
Thank you. I'm sweating after our first one.
Did you hear about those two guys over in, oh God, where was it? Over in the States. They were pilots with the Air Force. And they drew over some football game a big picture of a penis using the trails. And they ended up getting into serious trouble. But it was Jeremy Clarkson who put it on, the Grand Tour.
You put it on?
He put the picture on the Grand Tour and said, look, these boys, if the Navy sack you, or sorry, not the Navy, the airline sack you, come over to us, we'll give you a job.
Nice.
Can I just point out, by the way, that December 8th, the Grand Tour special is coming out.
Is it?
Yes.
Where are they going?
Madagascar.
Oh, that'd
But
be interesting.
there's a twist than what they normally do.
So they getting good cars?
Well, and
I doubt it.
waiting to see. Had you seen the ad? You saw what they done to the cars?
I have to be honest with you. I didn't click into it.
You were fucking
I told you I would. I told them I'd watch it and never clicked into it.
asshole.
Sorry.
So, what they're actually doing is they're on a treasure hunt. So it's like a big game to them.
Deadly.
So they have to follow treasure maps, and their poster is done Indiana Jones style with the hats on and the whip and everything. And it just looks really, really cool. But the ad for it, I don't know how Richard Hammond got done with his car what he got done.
Yeah.
He literally put tracks on each wheel. Now, not tracks that go from front to back.
No, you can buy them.
Little tripod ones.
Yes, the tripod
Yeah.
ones. And this just goes through everywhere.
Nice.
But I mean, you're in the middle of Madagascar. There's no road, so clearly that was the best option.
But the thing about it is, I don't know how they got permission to do something like that on an island like Madagascar because of its importance ecologically.
Why? Because of the COVID thing?
No, because of how important that is as a biome.
It's an isolated space, like the Galapagos or whatever, has a high proportion of unique species.
It's the southeast. It's an island off the southeast of Africa, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, southeast.
But like Corsica has animals on it that are only exclusive to Corsica. The Galapagos have animals that were only discovered, and they're like, just say there was land bridges and stuff. There's certain species of animal have evolved different paths, but they're the same parent species. It's class. Watch David Attenborough on the Galapagos, man. It's amazing.
I've seen that. It's quite good.
But I'm assuming that because Madagascar is their own country, they're not.
No, it's a French colony.
Emboldened to any other country. They don't answer to anybody.
They're French. To be a French colony.
I know very little about their rules, their laws, their regulations. Is it like Africa in general? Is there corruption in it? Is it?
Africa's massive. You can't say is it like Africa? Because
I can
That's
generalize.
but it's...
That's like
No.
saying...
I used to generalize, but with Africa
You can't.
being the largest continent on the fucking globe.
I can
But,
generalize.
but if someone said, is it like Europe?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know, is that like...
Okay, but in what context?
As in like Europe, as you say, the green fields at Attenborough versus the Rhineland versus...
Okay, but when I turn around and say corruption, the vast majority
Of Europe is corrupt, yeah.
No, the vast majority of
Africa.
the continent, not the
Ireland
countries
got
within
rated
it.
one of the most corrupt countries there a while ago.
Yes, we are, but our corruption doesn't come with blood.
No, it does.
No,
It does. It's
does.
not
Culture
armies
fund.
of child soldiers getting your blood. It's people freezing to death in the streets.
You look at South Africa with the farmer stuff, with the armies going in.
Zimbabwe and South Africa.
It's just crazy over there at the moment.
Yeah,
There's a
but
lot of
it's-
bad stuff going on.
It is the definition of reverse
It's kind
racism.
of a
Yeah.
it's kind of a continuation of bad stuff going on, really.
Yeah, a continuation because Africa's always been that way.
No, it hasn't.
I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry to be saying.
That's
Africa's-
1600s.
Actually-
1600s when them first
There was one-
French and Belgium lads landed there and started drawing straight lines on maps. That's when shit went south.
Do you know the C-section?
The C-section?
The C-section, yeah.
Syrian section.
Syrian section, yeah.
Yeah, I saw one.
That actually came from Uganda and was
Uganda be kidding me.
No, I think like in the 1600s, some dude was down there and seen it, and basically went, Jesus, that's class, and brought it back to London. Except they couldn't do it in London for fucking ages because they didn't have the sterility.
Yeah.
They didn't have the cleanliness in their theatres. So it was like
this was being done in hospitals in Uganda.
yeah.
So
And they had like
there
and
was
they had
a proper anaesthetist and everything there.
no. Is it? Well, like you're talking about the 1800s. Anaesthetist?
Oh, see, this is what I'm talking about. So, in other words, this was just barbarians cutting.
No,
babies
this
out
was
of bellies.
bite down.
Except they had, they had a way of treating the wound afterwards, so the mother would live,
Okay.
and the baby was born. So they did a C-section, like.
Okay, so
And-
this wasn't a trial and error thing. I wonder if we can cut women open.
Did you know
No.
about priests
At some stage
sawing
it might
through
have
women's pelvises in Ireland in the 50s?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Priests will be called in to, doctor had to give up, only a priest can deal with this. Get a saw through the woman's pelvis, crack it, and pull the child out. Women left paralysed.
Yeah.
No pain relief.
Okay, but I'd like to get back to my point that I can generalize that Africa, bit of a shithole.
Yeah, but you have to remember the biomes that are within it and the different races.
Yeah, but see,
I don't
people
agree with what
within
you're
it.
saying there, by the way. I have to say, I don't think Africa's a shithole. Like,
I
I've
can
never
s-
been there,
Yeah, but see,
but I don't think it's a shithole. I think that's rude.
Yeah, it probably is rude. But
He is rude.
here's the thing: I'm not saying the people are assholes. I'm not saying the people are scumbags. I'm saying in general, the country is a shithole because
That's your TIA.
there's the amount of murders that are over there. The corrupt
This is
government.
all down to post-colonial
Of course it is. Yeah.
vested interests
Of course
keeping
it is.
it that way.
Look at fucking Live Aid. We've been sending the money since 1981. Is it?
We haven't been sending them money. We have been basically putting lots of money into rich guys' wives' bank accounts. That's most charities is a rich guy's wife runs
So
it.
every year we send money, Irish, English,
Yeah,
Americans.
troker boxes, like.
Yeah, we all send money over to Africa. And
We
we've
don't
been-
send it over to Africa. We send it to organ NGOs, who then waste
okay,
it.
but whatever money does get over to Africa,
About 5% of what's
okay,
done in.
even if it's only 5%, that's still millions.
Oh, yeah.
That is still millions, and it has never made a dent in the economy whatsoever for one reason.
Because we're buying them
No.
really shoddy infrastructure,
No.
like a really bad well.
No, because of corruption. Because there have been presidents in each country
Oh, yeah,
who have seen convoys of gear coming in and going, we want that, take that for us.
I'll have
Which was
that.
like how you could see UN rights, like food staples that are designed for human rights organizations and refugees and whatever, and they'd be sold in the market because somewhere along the chain a bit got diverted, and someone needs to make a buck.
Yeah.
Okay, what's that thing they do every year? Red Nose Day, is it?
Yeah, BBC.
And
Comic relief.
Comic relief. They send the money over to Africa, and you always
That
get these.
is terrible.
It's so
You have
shitty.
so many millionaires on that show
Yeah.
telling people, "Nah, they're after your snack bar."
Yeah, that's my problem with it. I once watched an episode of that when there was a woman. She went in. She lost her baby to I don't know something. What's the malaria?
SIDS or-
Malaria.
So she lost the baby to malaria, and they literally gave her a plastic bag and said, "Put the baby in the bag and bring it home."
Oh, that's not right.
Yeah. Now, when you see that, when you look at that type of stuff, and you see homeless children on the streets, kids being raped, people being murdered, corrupt government, a corrupt government, you see all of this. I think I can generalize to turn around and say I think it's a bit of a shithole.
Right. It is a bit of a shithole.
Thank you.
But what you have to take into account is why it's a shithole.
I understand exactly why it's a shithole. It's not the people, it's the
Yeah,
government.
I don't think it's fair to call
No,
somewhere a
it's-
shithole without acknowledging why it's a shithole.
It's a systemic...
Because of the government.
It's not even the government. You can't isolate it to a single cabinet or whatever. It's a systemic issue caused by hundreds of years of rape and pillage.
Yeah, but I think Alejandro would disagree with
So
most.
but like it creates a dog eat dog environment, and then that's ingrained through generations to the point that it's just a way of life.
Okay, so
South Africa is a completely different kettle of fish.
we concur that it's a way of life. This violence and the corruption and blah blah blah. That doesn't take away from the fact that these things are the things that make it a shithole. Because if it was a country like the UK, I wouldn't consider the UK a shithole.
I would.
Okay,
no.
on what grounds?
Have you been there? Have you
Yes.
been there recently?
Yes, I have, yes.
There is no quality of life for anybody.
I wouldn't consider it a shithole.
I would.
You saying the UK?
It's a social welfare state.
I wouldn't
People
call
are
it a
taken
shithole.
care of. There's they have less crime than Africa has. They have
but
less
when you talk,
corruption.
a fraction of the population, a fraction of the landmass.
Which
England to Africa,
Okay.
like
Oh,
The
yeah,
usable arable land in
Well,
England.
I get that.
That's actually a really good point. Even the way we're talking about here, like, you know, England versus Africa, they should never be compared.
That's like comparing a single euro coin to a 500 euro note.
Okay, then
And even then, it's still
then let's compare Europe to Africa.
Yeah, let's do that. So
Can't even do that because Europe's still too small. You can fit Europe, the whole landmass of Europe, Russia, the United States,
China,
South
Antarctica.
America, China, all fits in the continent of Africa.
Okay, but
Wait,
look
the
at
United States.
The Mercator,
Yeah.
the Mercator
Africa's massive,
projection
man.
What
of
is the
globe-
population?
This man knows that.
The Mercator projection is what we go off.
Okay.
That's the map of the world you see. It's called the Mercator projection.
Yes.
Yeah.
The northern hemisphere is super exploded, about 8 times bigger than the southern hemisphere because we live in the northern hemisphere.
I understand
So
that.
therefore,
Greenland isn't that big, like.
Greenland's tiny. It's tiny. It's not that much bigger than Ireland, really. And it looks to be bigger than most of the landmass of north of the US, the North American continent.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, did you, that's the thing where the maps, they're drawn in a particular way, but that's actually it's not
It's a projection.
it's not a valid representation of
Oh,
the
no.
Can I
actual
draw on
size
your
of
book
the
there
country.
for a second? Can I
Of course
draw
you
it?
can.
I didn't know this at all.
yeah.
So,
Google
like-
the Mercator projection.
Yeah,
You have a
yeah.
circle, and what they do is they change it into a
A
square.
square.
So you have like that, but
So we
then
have-
like they stretch all these bits. But that only
Yes, they stretch them out. So which,
like-
Yeah, but then the northern hemisphere is stretched again.
exactly.
Yeah.
So which means it's not an accurate representation. But either way, going back to my point, if you look at the population of Africa versus the population of Europe, it's pretty similar.
No, it's not.
What are we at?
They can't actually gauge the
population of
of Africa. It can't be accurately gauged.
But we can take a guesstimate.
There's an area in the Congo, and it's 54,000 square miles where
Google,
white man has
population
ever
of Africa.
set foot.
Okay.
They can't. We actually can't go in that far because there's diseases and bugs and infections that people get. in
Instant
there.
killer.
It's a no man's land.
One
Literally no man's land.
1.216 billion.
1.2.
16 billion.
That's
Yeah,
the
so
same as
1.2
China.
billion. What's the population of Europe?
Give it out now.
About 350 million.
Ah, it's more than that, man. Has to be.
741 million.
Holy fuck!
So we're not that far off.
Oh, it's pretty fucking far, man.
We're like 450 million off.
That's a lot of people.
450 million people off. The scale of thing is not really. Not really. Once it gets they get past them type of numbers, it's not really.
But for the way things work.
Can we just agree for
No,
once?
no, I'm not agreeing with you on this.
We kind of did. You said,
I'll agree.
okay, it's
Africa
it's
is a shithole, but I will agree that England is a shithole.
Okay.
For a first world country, they're doing real bad.
Okay, is there a country in the world that's not a shithole in your opinion?
Sweden, Finland, Norway, the Netherlands is pretty badass. I think Ireland's doing pretty good.
We better get hit through his headlines. We've only 9 minutes.
It's fine,
Oh,
no
no, fuck his headlines.
Tap away, tap away, tap away.
Australia's not a shithole. Japan's not a shithole. Bhutan is doing real good.
South Korea,
and
New
South
Zealand.
Korea,
All
New
of
Zealand.
these countries that you've mentioned, I can guarantee you, if you got a person on from that country, a representative from that country, they could tell you themselves about the corruption and all of the crap
No,
that's going
Japan's
on.
with
I can
There's one of
guarantee
you in
they
every
can.
country, Aiden.
Huh?
There's one of you in every country.
Absolutely, there is, and that's what I'm saying. Because I can say Ireland. In my opinion, Ireland is a bit of a shithole.
I can't because it's too beautiful to be a shithole.
No, it's a liberal paradise.
Hang on a second. If we're talking about beauty being a factor in this, there's no way any bit of Africa can be
Exactly.
considered a shithole. Like,
Absolutely.
it's
Oh
a
no!
beautiful
Those
continent.
the plastic dumps of Ghana.
As Jeremy Clarkson said,
I'm sure there's a good waterfall to make up for that.
as Jeremy Clarkson said, Africa is God's garden.
Have a South African
It's
man
just
here.
an absolutely beautiful country to look at, and I would love to go to South Africa or to Africa and just travel around the whole thing. I would love to do it.
It'd be amazing just to see even a handful of countries, or
But-
Lake Victoria or something.
But here's the thing: would you feel safe?
It depends on where I was going and what state of mind I was in.
Okay, you're going through Nigeria. Would you
Okay.
feel safe?
Probably if I was in Lagos or whatever, yeah.
Would you?
Yeah.
I wouldn't. See, I would not feel safe in Africa. If I was in Africa, I would want to have
My daughter's best
gun on my
friend,
hip.
her whole family moved here from Lagos.
Okay.
And Jess's best friend was born in Ireland, be a bit of an anchor baby.
Yeah.
And they love Nigeria. They love Nigerian food, Nigerian culture, everything.
Of course.
It's just those Muslim extremists are getting more and more extreme by the day, and their family was witness to some atrocities. And like,
Well, we get around to all of
Do
that.
you want to hear what JJ says here?
Please, yeah.
JJ says the money goes to the main political party, their cronies, and their own families. Money sent does not reach the people. Same with tax money. It's super corrupt. However, it seems like you have an image of it being very primitive. However, it's pretty evolved compared to Ireland.
No. I wouldn't. I never said primitive. I said shithole.
Yeah.
And I quantified why I said it was a shithole because of the corruption and the violence that goes on over there in comparison to the rest of the world.
I think Aiden should go on a holiday to Africa when this is all said
They'll
and done.
fucking kill me.
And never come back.
They'll hear this podcast and that'll be it.
It'll be alright. You'll be alright.
Beating me with
grow a
barbed
beard
wire.
or something.
would you
know.
be sickened
Shave
if he
your
was
head.
a massive sex symbol over there?
Could you imagine? could you imagine if I got that 21 of me?
Could
done?
you imagine if he ended up happy again?
Hey, let's not go nuts.
Again, he was never happy.
I was once in my life.
No, you think you were.
No, I was once.
When?
When I had an argument with somebody that I absolutely destroyed.
Should have seen that one coming.
So on to your next headline.
Yes, go to the very, very last headline. So,
Yeah, please.
French rescuers rig crane to help obese man stuck in home.
Okay.
Happens a lot.
Okay.
Does it?
Yeah.
Yes,
It happens a lot.
Really?
I've seen them over in the States having to take the side wall off a house to get a woman out who died.
Yeah, this dude is
Or
between
someone fused to the
500
couch.
stuck to the couch.
Fused to the couch. It's been on so long.
We only spoke about this here.
We
His
know
bed
it's
sores had like leaked into the couch and he scabbed into the couch.
I actually know a guy, not know him personally. I've heard of a guy in America who does self euthanasia. Like he'll help you out.
Oh, that's where I heard this.
And this woman was fused to the couch, so he came over. She rang him. So it's completely illegal. She was fused to the couch. He came over with what's the cloth with the gas that you give on
Chloroform.
Chloroform.
That takes way too long. Like, that's a good solid 5
I
minutes.
said this last week.
Okay,
and
well then
everybody
it was,
argued
it was
with me.
something else then.
Yeah, no, like it'll work. It just takes a very long time.
And he just drops it off at the house. Says, "Here you go. Here's the stuff you need." And she leaves all the stuff in the will to him. And yeah,
That's a sneaky way.
That's a piece of shit.
Yeah, that's a complete piece of shit. Like,
That's a fucking scum.
and we know. Well, I actually know someone personally who does know this guy. And he says that this dude has like loads of money.
well,
Like
of course he does.
he gets all the stuff left in all the wills from people.
Yeah, that's not right.
He will be caught on to.
No, what'll happen
the jumper cab?
is with the jumper in England. Remember the train jumper guy?
No.
This dude who was a train driver, he had a suicide.
Yes.
And he got paid out.
Yes.
And he found out that if he gets 3 of them in the course of his career, the rest of his career money is paid. He's paid for his whole job and his whole pension.
Okay.
So he was going to fucking cancer meetings and suicide survivor meetings and was
Finding people.
grooming people to be his jumpers.
Yep.
And he groomed one woman and she did it. And then he was looking for his third guy and he found a guy. But the guy wrote a big long suicide note and stuck it inside his jacket, inside a plastic
Told
bag.
him everything.
Told them the whole thing about the first 2 people he got. The first one
Was this Ireland?
in England.
England.
And there was a film made about it. And
Yeah.
he convinced this other woman to do it as well. And he had them all audio recorded back at his house.
Yeah.
So he did it. Your man was like, "Oh yeah, shocking." And the police brought him in, and there's an interview of him there for about half an hour. Like, "Oh, just this is so unfortunate and stuff." And then they just play the recording of him talking to your man.
Yep.
And you see his face drop, and he starts bursting out crying.
Didn't he get,
He's going to jail.
he get three back-to-back life sentences? Yes. Isn't that what he got?
He got 2 back-to-back life sentences.
yeah, the first one was
They couldn't
you know,
prove it.
Couldn't prove the first one. Yeah,
He might not have had anything to do with the
Yeah,
first
you're
one,
yeah,
to be
exactly.
fair.
You're right.
so serves him right.
Like shout out
Yeah.
Sagar Kumar's here. He says, "Awesome guys."
On the
Hey,
side.
Zag.
So yeah, but there was 50 rescuers involved in this, and your man was between £550 and £660.
I never understand the.
How heavy? How big is that?
Pounds.
That is fucking huge.
So 300 kilos.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's like fucking
So that's 3
That's like
of me.
45
40 or
stone.
50 stone.
Yeah.
Morbid obesity. It says
no,
here,
it's-
like
no, that would be 30.
That's not morbid obesity. That's catastrophic
48
obesity.
stone.
I thought a bit more, to be honest
Oh,
with you.
more.
I'm about 110 kg and about maybe 16 stone.
this is a super interesting part of the story. He fell out of the bed a year ago and was not able to get up off the floor for a year.
Yeah, happens.
That would be horrendous.
So he was on the floor for a year. Obviously,
Yeah,
just being
yeah.
brought food and stuff.
I know
This
a
is
few-
where I live now.
I know a couple of first responders and they've been to a lot of obese people.
Yeah.
Crazy.
500 pounds.
Between £550 and £660.
Pounds US.
We'll go 500 pounds because that's what I was at. And what did I say it was?
38 stone.
35 stone.
Really?
Wow. Would your
45
knees even be able to carry that?
No, not a
No,
hope
no.
in hell.
You
So
can't even.
What's a ton? What's a metric ton?
Don't know.
How many stone in a metric ton?
You were there with the fucking
Yeah.
converter.
I think it's in and around that.
No way.
But the thing is, right, I'm what, 12, 13 stone.
Yeah.
So that's like 3 or 4 of me jumping on your
Oh,
back.
it's 157 stone in the sun.
What? Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Jesus, all right, yeah.
You're way
Well,
off.
Yeah, so it's a quarter, is it?
Yeah.
No, not even
A
a
fifth.
quarter. Fifth.
Yeah, so like a fifth of a ton. Carrying that shit around.
There's not a hope.
Only one fist-sized heart pumping blood around all that mass.
Well, the heart is bigger than the fist.
No, your heart's the same size as your fist.
It's about yay big.
Your
and
heart-
long.
If you get bigger, can your heart get bigger? No.
Yes.
It can.
Yes.
Okay, so his heart rate.
is the same size as your fist.
Mr. Fox is frantically Googling something.
I'm just double checking your maths, to be honest with you, because I might be lighter than I think, and that's a good news story for me.
There you go. You know, also, if you were on the moon, you'd be lighter. If you were on Mars, you'd be lighter.
Yeah, it's true.
So what is it, one
But
third
instead of
of...
sending
You'd also be
atoms-
dead.
This is very true.
Not even from the lack of air, the solar radiation to kill you long before any of the rest.
And the cold.
Not solar
And,
radiation.
and the fact of not being able to breathe.
Yeah, but the solar radiation would kill you before all those other
You'd
factors.
obviously be in a suit.
If I pushed you out of the space thing,
Without a suit.
without a suit, the solar radiation would kill you before anything else did.
Nah.
Yes.
It won't kill you that quick.
Gamma will go kill you. Yes. It will interfere with.
Wait, would you not die of suffocation straight away?
No.
They should
They'd
bring...
have 15 seconds. Because, what's your name? What's your man's name? Oh, Tim Peake, the British astronaut.
Right.
He was online and he was chatting about things, and people were like, how are you only going to have 15 seconds? I can hold longer in the bath, like. And he's like, no, it's not about that. It's like in a vacuum, it will force the air out of
I
your
get
lungs.
you. Yeah,
Yes.
they come,
And
yeah.
if you hold your breath, it'll just make your lungs fill with blood.
Oh, God. Could you imagine? Could you? That would be a scary thing.
It would happen. Everything would be happening to you so fast we wouldn't realize.
Yeah, like it's not like with drowning where you'd have a couple of minutes or whatever. It's a case of like...
Like, if you've ever been
you're-
knocked out stone cold with a punch.
Yes.
You know that when you're coming back to and you don't know your arse from your elbow.
Yes.
It'd be like that. Or did you ever fall off a bicycle? Mm-hmm. And you know the whole point of falling off a bicycle, there's that
To get back up again.
moment.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
It's the same as when you get your nose broken. There's that moment where you're completely stunned. It'd be like that.
Here's a question. Why, when you fall off a bike, is there always witnesses? I've
No,
never not.
I've fallen many times with no witness. I prayed for witnesses twice when I fell off a bike.
No,
Why'd you pray for witnesses?
I'm not
Because
talking...
I crashed into a barbed wire fence and ripped my nuts out.
Yeah, see, I was not talking about that type of stupid stuff. I mean, just falling
Can you
in general.
just write that down so we remember to ask him that story in the third half of the show, please?
What about his nuts?
Yeah, I want to hear about his nuts
was
like
a-
getting ripped open.
It was like that much of a,
we got to go to an
that
ad
much
break.
of a chunk.
Nuts.
But I want to hear about this.
Wait, do we have to go through an ad break?
It
Yeah, we
wasn't-
do have to go through an ad break.
wasn't like
That's
balls,
That's my
Yeah.
shitty headlines done.
Thank God.
Thank God.
So, Billy, does your social media look like a teenager's bedroom?
What? Full of Justin Bieber posters?
No, you incompetent fool. Messy and unorganized.
Yeah, it kinda does. But what can I do about it?
Oh, poor simple Billy. Why not put all your social media in one convenient place?
But gee whiz, mister, how can I do that?
With Social QR, of course. It's easy, fast, and free.
But what's social QR?
Well, Billy, I'm glad you asked. Social QR is a one-stop shop for personal and business social media users to have all your social media in one place. Easy to set up, easy to share, and fully customizable, with your own custom QR code suitable for digital and print media.
Jiminy crickets, so now it'll be as tidy as my web browser?
So don't forget, Billy, that's socialqr.xyz. And Billy, take down the Justin Bieber posters.
Aww.
Every day, Richie has to drive 2 miles to bum tobacco from his friends. With your generous donation of only $19.20 a week, Richie won't have to sponge from his friends. Text Richie to 521034 27591268089 so we can finally tell Richie to piss off.
From its rich traditions beginning when the first AM radio transmission was broadcast in the year 1900 to present day, where radio is still the most listened to form of media and the #1 source for people of all ages to enjoy their favorite music and discover new artists. Sure, the technology has changed, but the concept has stood the test of time throughout history. From the end of World War II
General Eisenhower informs me that the forces of Germany have surrendered to the United Nations. The flags of freedom fly all over Europe.
to the falling of the Berlin Wall,
Our top story. The Iron Curtain between East Germany and West Berlin has come tumbling down.
To the U.S. entering the War on Terror.
None of us will ever forget this day, yet we go forward to defend freedom and all that is good and just in our world. Thank you. Good night, and God bless America.
Generations across the world are united by music as it transcends all language barriers. It brings everyone on planet Earth closer together. We at iStreamRadio.ie understand what radio has done for the world and would like to thank radio for its 100-plus years of service. Radio has been here through thick and thin. Thank you, radio.
Imagination is the beginning of creation. You imagine what you desire. You will what you imagine. And at last, we create what you will. Don't wait for the right opportunity. Let us create it. When the virtual world of the internet, ideas, dreams, and concepts have become a reality, now is the time to bring your idea to the digital world. MilestoneMedia.ie offer a full range of digital services such as web development, hosting, audio, and visual services. Inspiration has a new platform. MilestoneMedia.ie. Experience the difference.
Tired of getting more screwed over than your cousin Jesse's pig? Sick of those uppity cowboys over at the Irish Insurance Federation? Is your vehicle being overpriced because it's undervalued? Does your annual quote leave you feeling sicker than the morning you woke up beside your sister? Well, leg it down to Leggett Insurance. Leggett Insurance is the answer to all your insurance needs. Bored off the road? No problem. Old lady turf you out and you gotta move your collection of lawn art? That's okay. Underage? Well, shit, that ain't your fault. Our unique style of cover provisions includes a real insurance disc to put in your windshield and the understanding that if something goes wrong, you use our groundbreaking policy. Run as fast as you can before anyone gets your wrench. The golden rule is to make sure you pick up any bits of your car left behind so you can't be identified. Your one-off payment of $29.99 annually provides all of the above. And for an additional $40, we provide you with a full windscreen worth in your very own Leggett disc holder. Just call us on 2800 Yeehaw! That's 2800 Yeehaw! Sail through that checkpoint today!
Itchy, smelly scrotum getting you down. Worried about ball sweat on the dance floor? Well, worry no more. New sandalwood and lavender scented Man Ponds has your nutsack covered. Our unique smell-inhibiting fibrous wadding ensures your most repugnant odors are kept to yourself. So next time she drops the hand, you can feel confident it's not into a vat of nut soup. And don't forget, you can be the sweetest smelling stud in the nursing home with new Man Ponds Twilight Edition for seniors. Order our economy size 86 pack today on manponds.org. Man Ponds, because you don't need to smell any worse.
The Supernatural Dogshit podcast is controversial and confrontational and may cause offense to some. Listener discretion is advised.
We're actually back on.
We back.
Oh, you're not back on.
We back.
So did you wait until the tweet?
Just before it.
Just before. Now do it after it.
No problem.
Yeah, just.
I do the camera on.
Yeah, he feels all super important over there now that he has a job to do.
He's the producer, like, you know.
Producer of problems.
The only thing that this man can produce is babies en masse.
And trouble. And lots and lots and lots and lots of trouble.
So
my baby's lovely. Leave me alone.
Welcome
Hopefully
back.
he ends up an awful lot fucking quieter than you.
He's already not. He's wild.
So So welcome back to the second half of the show.
Yeah, guys, you can get us on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify and Podbean after the show. Our lovely number is 085
2727212.
and the website is supernaturaldogshit.com. It's a beautiful website that Mr. Doyle made for us. It is lovely.
Beautiful.
That's alright.
And we don't. Do we need to do a social keyword XYZ again?
No.
Well, we can just say our sponsors are social keyword at XYZ. Go check them out.
And check out the ad. You can just listen to the ad.
Yeah.
And like and share, guys.
Yeah, give us a share on Facebook. Come on.
And
share.
next week, we'll be going to YouTuber.
And on Thursday, we have two guests.
We
in
do.
studio.
Two musically minded, magnificent men who are going to
lads,
tear strips out of you.
just, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this loud in public. Sorry about this. No?
Go ahead.
But when you're switching over to YouTube, how is that going to interfere with your interaction? Because people find it very easy to comment on Facebook.
But you can comment on YouTube.
Yeah, but
You can leave a comment down on the bottom of YouTube.
That's fair enough.
They can just keep commenting on Facebook like rebels as well, though.
Oh yeah, we'll be checking. We'll be checking both.
It's not like we're going all to YouTube. It's just we're just going that way.
It's a
Yeah,
financial.
see, the link shared from Facebook, like.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make sure the people who like finding you on their scroll can still find you on their scroll and still throw in a
They
comment.
will. They'll find us on the scroll, and they just click on that, and it'll just bring them over to YouTube, and there's plenty of space there for them to leave a comment.
Yeah, Ken Walsh is here. He says, "Who let you guys loose?"
Oh,
Sorry,
God.
Ken.
Sorry, Ken.
But next Thursday coming, we have Frank
Burns,
on the bow run.
Mr. Burns,
Frank Durkin,
There we
and
go.
Johan McCormick are coming in.
Okay,
And they're going to play a few fucking tunes.
do I know you?
On the fly!
I don't know if you know Johan, but
Okay.
you will Thursday.
This is going to be like traditional Irish music.
It could be a mix, because
Yeah.
Johan is very good singer-songwriter.
We're having our own fla, basically.
Okay, we just have to figure out the logistics of having two guests.
Yeah, you're going to need another mic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
We just
can do
share
it.
mine.
We can do
and-
it.
It's actually my birthday on Thursday, on the Thursday podcast.
Boo,
for
no,
everybody.
boo. Nobody gives.
Send me presents and money.
Ooh, look at me. I went around the sun.
well, when it was your sister's birthday, one more time around the sun, baby girl.
Oh, yeah.
because I love my sister.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sounds.
We should also give out our address.
Yes, people who want to send us stuff, especially that person in America that wants to send us loads of sweets.
That's Teresa.
It is 12 Dominic Street, Mullingar, County Westmeath, Ireland.
What's the postcode?
You know what? I'm gonna type.
have
I'm gonna
no
type it in the
idea.
comments.
Like every other era.
We should,
Them boys in the podcast.
because I know Teresa wanted to send us over a sweet hamper.
Yes.
But see, the thing is, do we trust Teresa not to be putting razor blades in these?
Of course we do.
Yeah, we do.
Do we?
It's going to be going through like the American postal service and
For-
then the Irish postal service. They're going to find anything that's in it. that
For
shouldn't
all
be
we know, Teresa could be one of these ladies that sits at home with those lifelike dolls brushing their hair all day.
in it. But hopefully
Hey,
she's
you're just
made
going to have
dolls
to take
of
a
us.
test. Take a test for the team.
Well, no, we'll give it to Nathan. He'll eat anything.
I've been known to.
I've
once
seen his exes.
I want some candy.
Oh, that was harsh. But yeah,
Well,
at least you said X's.
if the glove fits, OJ,
So should we get serious?
we should. Richie's yawning already.
I'm tired. I'm a busy bugle.
We need to get you. So, those. Did that work for you yesterday? He went into the garage into O'Brien's and picked up a sachet of caffeine.
Oh,
Caffeine doesn't affect me. I could drink like 10 Red Bulls
What
and go
was
to
it?
bed.
200 milligrams or what was it?
It's
400 milligrams of caffeine.
It's not the caffeine you need, it's the vitamin B12 and the niacin.
What, to keep you awake?
To keep you, like, the caffeine will keep you awake, but the vitamin B12 will keep you
Sharp.
JJ, I'm going to do the tasting. Yes, we know this.
Yes, you are.
Sorry.
I wouldn't mind. We have Pierce here. He could answer the whole caffeine thing.
What about it? Yeah, like caffeine's a stimulant, but eventually the body will just fucking shut down. Like,
Can
run out of juice.
Can you OD on caffeine?
You can
you cannot do anything. The poison's in the dose, like.
So, yeah, but I would.
Like, you get 6 litres of water and you're dead, like.
So, I wonder how much caffeine it would take to kill you.
Not a lot.
I'll check the LD50.
Good man.
We like we have any idea what LD
Lower density, is it?
No, the Life Debt 50. It's like a general scale. Like,
Oh, how much you have to give somebody that's a fatal dose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's worked on a population of rats. So basically, you have 100 rats, and you give them some, and when more than half of them die, that's the amount that is decided that might kill a human.
You know about telomeres?
About what?
About telomeres at the end of your chromosomes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the shorter your telomere,
the more fuck jar.
Yeah, the more fuck jar. But they did this study, and for
Lobsters are great.
For 90 days, 5 times a week for 90 minutes each session, hyperbaric oxygen chamber. And
by the way, lads, I typed in LD50 and my very first result was caffeine. People have been Googling this in the fucking store.
Or Google's listening to us.
Yes, that's more likely what it is, because that's what your phone does.
I just have to say as well, sorry, Teresa, yeah, that is the address. She said you had to leave for a few minutes. She's just back now. That is the address, Teresa. Send all the good stuff to us, please.
And no poisons, LSD, mushrooms.
You forgot to put Ireland on that.
Yeah.
She knows it's Ireland. Just add Ireland on the end, Teresa.
Yeah,
because the American postman's going to go,
or era.
Era. No, Ireland.
Era. Is it?
Yes, because after the Queen heir.
And what would you know, you Welsh asshole?
He's
I'm
not
fucking Welsh. You're a fucking Jackeen. Beyond a pale man.
Okay.
They're way worse than us muck savages.
I do. If memory recall, my memory recall.
My memory.
I'm having a slight stroke.
Oh, McDonald's.
I'm having a stroke on there. So if my memory serves me well, the Midlands were the ones who were supporting the English troops when they came into Ireland.
No. It was the highest concentration of Protestants in the country. It was in the Midlands, right?
Okay.
My family comes from County Cork, by.
Okay.
The rebel
The
county.
rebel
But
county.
like, to be fair, it was the Midlands that was planted first, like.
Yeah.
Do you know? So
Plantation Leinster.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, just to go back to the whole caffeine thing, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a thing here called the Caffeine Informer. It's a bit rude, but it basically you put in a drink and you put in your weight and it'll calculate your limits. So basically it's saying that the maximum you should have is 7.5 cans a day, and the lethal dose is about 188 cans of Red Bull if you're 100 kg.
188 cans of Red Bull.
I could do that.
I'm assuming
I could do it.
No, you couldn't. You couldn't, because you said 6 litres of water would kill you.
Yeah.
So
but like,
obviously,
could.
No, see, it's different. Like with water, it kills you by washing out all the salts in your body that are used for cellular signaling.
Desalinizes you.
Yeah, exactly. It's like ultra pure water is one of the most dangerous things you can drink.
Yeah. The deionized water is so
water.
dangerous.
Yeah, because it takes all the minerals out of your body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like you don't have that with sugar water and caffeine, because it's already, it's not going to pull out of you, it's going to push into you.
But I wonder if it's the caffeine that would kill you before. I mean, surely by can 50, something else is going to kill you.
Yeah, you could have insulin spikes and shit like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of sugar in that, you're right.
Okay, we need to get around to the serious topic, folks.
Which is,
I forget the fucking
question. The telomeres.
Telomeres, yeah.
That was
the hyperbaric oxygen treatment was seen after the 90 days to significantly lengthen these people's telomeres, and they reckon they gained about 28 years on their lifespan.
What's this now?
They were getting these old people.
Yeah.
There was people in their 60s, 70s.
What's this hyperbaric oxygen treatment?
It's like a big chamber you sit in, and it pressurizes it with pure oxygen.
So is that like one of them face masks with oxygen?
No. It's a chamber, and it's pressurized.
Right.
With oxygen. Just pure oxygen.
Yeah.
And these people were taking 90-minute oxygen baths in the hyperbaric chamber.
How many?
What?
How many baths?
One 90-minute session 5 times a week for over 90 days.
Okay.
And it lengthened their telomeres.
And what's the
telomere? Like when you're as you age, your telomeres get shorter and shorter, and the regeneration of your body slows down as you age. So it's a way to reverse the effects of aging.
Your genes are in your chromosomes, right?
Yeah.
And you have 46 chromosomes, and basically like the telomeres are segments of repeating DNA. Like so, it's like it's like a nonsense, but it builds a cap at the end of your chromosome and prevents like degradation of your DNA, like of what actually
keeps the recipe the same.
Yes.
Okay.
And you need them, because as soon as they start fraying and going, every time your cells divide, they divide. It's like a dodgy photocopier with a scratch in it.
Yeah.
So it keeps getting worse and worse, and then that's what gives rise to like cancers and stuff like that.
No. And you age out, like your bones get more brittle, and
Yeah.
everything. The recipe gets spoiled. So like when you're smoking a cigarette, you're taking in all these carcinogens. What they're doing is bombarding you on the genetic level, and they affect your genetic makeup or the cell. It's not a division, is it?
It is mitosis.
Yeah, it's a mitosis. It affects the mitosis, and then you have this mutated cell, which is now the new building block. So when you see a guy laying blocks, he puts in one arseways, you see the ripple effect through the wall. Yeah. That's what happened.
Okay, so I think now it's time to get around to our topic, now that I remember what the question was.
Which is,
so after the restrictions have been lifted, the Irish government are looking to take in another 200 Syrian migrants into the country.
This is good news.
There has been outrage on Twitter, Facebook,
particularly for those 200 people who come from a war-torn country.
There has, but let me wait. Let me explain.
We took a lot more than 200.
Let me explain the
took
situation.
About 436.
4,000 since 2018.
Yes, we were mandated to take 4,000,
but we haven't taken that many.
No, we haven't. We have taken 3,900 and something. So we're just nearly at that limit now.
Thank
and
God.
we're looking to take in another 200 after the restrictions are lifted.
Yeah.
Now, I think this is a really good thing to be taking people into the country.
It's good for them, right?
It is really good for them.
It's good for the genetic diversity of the island as well. We're an isolated population with high rates of genetic illnesses.
Yes, right. That's fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm just
Good
asking
for
the
us,
question,
good for them.
why couldn't these people be housed in a country nearer to their homeland with a similar culture and religion and everything else? Why do you have to bring them all the way up to this rainy shithole on the edge of the Atlantic?
Because we can't control what other countries do, but we can...
That already has a housing problem, sorry.
Yeah, that's true.
We already have a housing problem.
And these people are going to get homed over Irish people.
Do me a favour, ask that question again.
Oh, because I said shithole.
No. Do me a favour.
Why aren't they being brought to countries nearer to their country with similar cultures and religions and practices?
Okay.
And why are they bringing them all the way to Ireland?
So what your problem isn't the problem is that they have different cultures? Is that what your problem is?
No. My problem...
Because, I mean, people come over here on holiday who have different cultures than we do. Do you have a complaint with that?
No, because they fuck off back home.
And these people will eventually go home. Of course
no, they
will.
won't.
Yes,
Say
they will.
90% of them won't.
Let me point out, first of all, that the war in Syria has technically ended.
No, it hasn't.
Technically, it has ended. Yes, it has. And do your research. I was only looking at this all last night.
Now, there was provinces in Syria that were completely unaffected by this war.
Yeah.
Very small few.
Very small
few.
But there is areas where nothing happened to people,
Yes.
right? Then they went off. A lot of these people, the first place they went was Turkey. Mm-hmm. And what Turkey did was, we'll keep them here. And then Turkey waited till it built up enough people to say, right, now we have a bit of a flex against the European Union, let the floodgates open. But this is all part of a bigger problem that stems back to 2011.
Which is?
When Gaddafi was being overthrown. Mm-hmm. Before there was a coup instilled in his own country. Libya was a serious country.
What a mistake, by the way.
Yeah, right. There was a phone call, and it's recorded, and you can listen to it on YouTube, where Colonel Gaddafi rang Tony Blair.
Okay.
And he says, I am the last thing,
Standing
the last
between.
seal between the third world and the first world.
Mm-hmm.
And you are chipping away at a cornerstone. And when I'm gone and Libya is gone, Europe will be torn apart by migrants.
Okay.
You saying that
in fairness, what you're doing is you're using outrageous language like torn apart. And you're not. Sorry, he is.
Right.
He said that.
Right.
So Europe will be torn apart. Is Ireland being torn apart by migrants?
Not yet.
So you're saying it's
So
a
you're
numbers
saying
game?
this 200 will be the straw that breaks the camel's
No,
back?
no, not this 200.
Because that's all we're mandated to take.
Yeah,
and then after
yeah.
that, we're not taking anymore.
Until the next mandate, and the next mandate, and the next mandate, and the next mandate.
But each one of them is looked at on an individual basis.
Right.
Yes.
But what I'm saying
There's
to
no
you,
rolling contract.
there's a trickle at the minute. Not even a trickle. A little trickle of water. That's what it is, right? There's a fucking dam about to burst. Because everybody in the third world wants to come to the first world. They want a better life. And you can't blame somebody.
What a blanket statement to say that everybody in the
Here,
third
how about
world
this?
wants
How
to
about this?
leave.
Give me
That's true.
give me enough rope to hang myself. right?
Okay, go ahead.
Little trick, right?
I like that.
There's over 1 billion people in Africa, right? Mm-hmm. I'd say at least 70% of them don't have a great quality of life.
Okay.
They don't get an education. Mm-hmm. They don't have work. They have no human rights.
I agree.
There's nothing for them, right? Mm-hmm. And then they hear about this place where you get a free house and free money every week. That's all they're hearing. Okay. They don't care where it is. It's the welfare European states.
Yeah, but then they come here and they land into direct provision. Like that's
it's a trap. It's not the best thing for them. But what I'm saying is, we haven't seen the flow. The migration hasn't started yet. But we're inviting it.
I don't think we're inviting it with 200. I don't think so. Especially not when people.
No. I'm talking about Europe as a whole, not just Ireland. Europe as a whole is seen by the rest of the world as this soft, weak welfare state.
Is this something to do with colonialization and how they all kind of have this dream or this feckin' association with countries that came over and colonized? That, you know, kind of going like, we can go back there now.
But did you not see the change in Ireland since 2001, since we started bringing every culture under the sun here.
What changed?
What fucking change?
What changed?
What changed?
The fabric of our system. Like, no, we talk about old Ireland.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying,
and what
Gurdeep living down the road there, the Indian guy, he's to blame for our fabric of society.
No. But like, what part of like the cuntish behaviour that came out of the boom is to do with genetic diversity arriving in?
I'm not giving out about genetic diversity. I agree with you on genetic diversity, right?
So where's the degradation in the societal fabric that these guys are affecting? How are they affecting that?
It's the feeling of the lack of community. There is no community.
So if Riz was sitting here, by the way, for our listeners, Riz is one of the guys who works part-time on the show.
Yes.
If Riz was sitting here...
Rizwan Amir Ali, his full name.
Are you telling me that if he was sitting there right now having a conversation with us, that you would feel like your culture is being eroded just because he's here?
Because he adopted our culture, and it's part of him now.
Okay, JP. Yeah, our Indian friend.
Yeah, he's adopted it also.
No, he hasn't. He's a Hindu.
A little bit he has.
No, he's a Hindu.
Right. He doesn't dress in traditional Hindu. He wouldn't.
He does.
Yeah, but I haven't seen him. I've seen him in beanies and jeans and shirts. You know what I mean? I've seen him in his normal day-to-days.
Okay, you understand that the traditional garbs that they wear over in India and Pakistan, by the way,
are ceremonial.
No, they're not ceremonial. They're to do with temperature.
Made more Irish than the Irish themselves.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a thing that happens. Like, you know, they come over here and we just kind of say, "Hey, you're welcome. Sit down."
Parallel it to England, where you've literally like, you've ever been to Bradford?
Mm-hmm.
I've rolled through Bradford.
Yes, I've been.
Whoa, Luton Airport. You ever been through Luton Airport?
Yes.
Yeah. Spot the white guy.
Yeah, but sure, look at all the Spanish that came to the West Coast. And all the Spanish names that are in people from like fucking Kerry to Donegal.
Yeah, and all the black hair and all that stuff.
Yeah.
There are...
that was all from the conquistadors.
There are 80 million...
I can't imagine them being thought as the nicest people to arrive in, but like...
No. Let me
it all worked out.
Wait. There's 80 million Irish passports around the world. 80 million. We have a population of 5.5 million, give or take.
It makes no sense.
It makes no sense.
That's at least 80 quid off one of each of them every 5 to 10 years. Like, that's good money.
Yeah.
That's a lot of Irish passports out in the world. There's more Irish
and it's
living
diluted
outside the country.
Diluted the value of our passport.
Okay, but regardless of that, there's more people Irish descendant living outside the country than there is within the country, and that'll just tell you that we ourselves migrated out of this country during the hard times, like the potato famine, like during our civil wars. People left the country.
Like during the last recession when there was no work.
No, I have a gripe with this argument.
Why?
Because when people left Ireland,
they walked.
They went to the New World.
And they walked.
Along with the Polish, along with the Spanish, the Italians.
You mean they went where there was money and jobs and livelihoods?
Yeah. But there's none of that here now. Not that we can't be facilitating every sad, sorry case that comes across.
We're talking about 200. We're not talking about millions.
Coming in on top of the nearly 4,000 of just one country.
Whoa. 4,000 people. Are you forgetting?
You're talking about like 0.1% of the population.
Just bear with me a sec.
Europe has taken 500,000 though.
Yes, they are.
They have.
Bear with me a second. Are you not seeing the human side of this story whatsoever?
I was just going to get to. My brother-in-law worked on the Elliott, rescuing migrants that had their boat sank at sea, trying to get between Africa and Italy.
Good work.
Yeah.
Right? Those people shouldn't have been out in that sea.
No.
Of course not.
No.
But they didn't go there with their first choice in their hand.
No. But why is the international community quicker to bring these people in and ruin their economies? Listen, bring in these people, right? There
is no proof that these people are ruining our economy.
Very
Zero
true.
proof.
When they land here,
when
they land here, they cannot contribute immediately.
No, they can't. And whose fault is that?
What? It's theirs.
No, it's not their fault.
I can't go to Australia unless I can contribute to their economy.
No, it's not their fault that they're not allowed to work.
Yeah.
It is not their fault. A lot of migrants, what you're forgetting is that these people, the people on the other side of this story, are actual human beings.
Right.
I had an argument the other night, this is why we're talking about this, is because somebody who is of the very same opinion of you, as you. These people who are coming in here are nurses, doctors, architects, engineers, professors. These are normal people.
They're all middle class because they're the only ones that can afford the trip to begin with. You have to remember, these are very expensive journeys.
Yes.
Like, you might look at them as being a rubber dinghy going across the Mediterranean.
Yeah, they're going to pay the equivalent of 30,000-40,000 euros to be on that dinghy.
Exactly.
I get you.
Well, let me ask you a question, Richie. I want to ask you a question.
Go on.
You're at Dublin.
By the way, class doesn't imbue anything towards character or anything else. I'm just saying, like, these aren't people, like, that never did anything.
These are working people who want their lives back.
Yeah.
And Syria is fucking decimated.
Oh, yeah.
Not the Taliban, what ISIS did when they went in there was they cut off agriculture, they blew up the electric stations.
Oh, they destroyed
took
the
all
country,
industry
brought it
away.
back to the Stone Age.
It's Stone Age.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, somebody said to me the other night, the war is over, why can't we send them back? To what? To what?
rubble.
To rubble. We cannot do that. We need to help them to build an infrastructure so they can go back home. Because I have spoken personally to Syrian migrants who want to go home. They do not want to be here. They want to be home. But they can't be there because they're going to get murdered.
Could you imagine like leaving like Syrian weather? Lovely, lovely warm weather.
Coming here, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And the beautiful architecture.
And going to fucking Mosney.
Well, there's fuck all architecture left.
Exactly, but you know, they had their tradition of it and they can build it again. Like.
Yeah, but are you saying that a lot of them are educated coming here and they can speak English?
So many of them, you've no idea.
I'd like to see the facts and figures on that, though.
Education does not mean speaking English. Like,
they're no use
integration purposes.
They're no use
Hold on. They're no use.
If they come here and they can't speak English straight away, what use are they straight away?
Correct. No use to who?
To us.
So that's what you're
to integrate into our society straight away.
That's what you're basing migration as. They have to be of use.
So what would happen if you landed in France with nowhere else to go? Would you speak French straight off the boat, or would you leave yourself a week or two to learn how to say "s'il vous plaît"?
A lot of them speak English already.
Because you're no used to the French, you don't speak their language, so you must be be human.
Despise the English language.
That is true. That is true.
It's true.
French was a bad example.
But in fairness, French was the original language spoke in the UK. Mm-hmm. So that was
and German.
You know?
Anyway,
I have that question for you. You're standing at Dublin docks.
Yeah.
Okay, and you're the only person there. There's a family coming across the water in a dinghy. But not a family. 10 kids, 10 adults. It looks like they've had a rough time. We've all seen the pictures. There's a ladder and they throw a rope. All they need to do is throw a rope to you, so you can tie it off and they can safely get onto land.
Yes.
Would you throw them that rope?
Yes.
Good. I am so happy that you said that.
Same as.
Because
no matter who the person is or their situation, if I see somebody in trouble, I am going to help that person to the best of my ability.
And this is what our government and the EU are doing. It's a metaphorical rope that they're throwing to these people because that is the first step from them getting out of that fucking hellhole.
I can appreciate that. But when you step over Irish people to do it, is what I...
Who's stepping over Irish people?
The government.
Our government.
There's so much going wrong in this country at the minute.
Our government.
Yes. That when you see somebody getting the olive branch, and then there's people literally homeless in the street right now, up the street there's a guy sitting there outside Rochers with a cup.
There are some people who do not want housing. They like, from my own experience of volunteering with
but when you see the pictures of the kids queuing up on outside the GPO and eating dinner off cardboard on a night like tonight.
That's propaganda and it's bullshit.
It's not propaganda.
Yes, it is.
There's real children in B&Bs right now. 5,000 homeless children in Ireland.
I can't say on air, but I will show you something after the show.
Oh, them kids getting into a car.
What? I will show you something after to prove that was 100% propaganda. I will show you something. I can't say it on air because...
So somebody is spending money every week to get pictures of homeless children because it's week after week after week after week after week.
No, it's not the situation that you think it was. That's all I can say to you. It is not what you think it was.
And they're not living in B&Bs.
Of course they're living in B&Bs, but living in a B&B...
And they're not kicked out at B&B every morning and made walk the streets and then told to go sleep in the airport.
What did you say? 4,000 families are homeless?
5,000 children.
5,000 children who are homeless.
10,000.
Okay. Those children are not homeless. They have a roof over their heads.
Which is gone at 7 o'clock the next morning and given back to them at 7 o'clock the next
evening.
And
how do you think that the migrants feel coming over here? How do you think they feel? They would feel pretty much the same way as Irish people feel when they're being treated really poorly and told, get the fuck out.
Yeah, but when you're being treated like a Syrian refugee in your own fucking country.
When the refugees come over here and they go into direct provision, they're not even allowed to go out. Like, you mean, like...
No, they're in a fucking...
They have to sign out,
effectively a concentration camp. Yes. I will agree, direct provision doesn't work.
No,
but I don't think... we can't provide to our own people. Who the fuck are we to provide it to Syrians?
No, I know, and I get what you're saying, and like I can see the logic in not completely rolling out the red carpet and instantly allowing everyone to work because it could be very attractive. I just think that it needs to fucking roll back.
And
the
subversiveness of the planning permission for these direct provisions. Any town where somebody finds out there's a direct provision centre coming, there's a protest.
Protests and fires and arson
to ruin the places that are prospective buildings that are going to be used to house these people because people don't want to.
And who's doing that? And who's
that's a very small crew.
Who's lighting the fires?
bad people.
Racist assholes.
Yeah.
Racist assholes, because what I'd like to point
But
out
the thing
is
about
that-
racism is,
Wait,
the thing about
You're
racism
not-
is,
let
it's
me
a
finish.
natural human reaction.
Okay, I agree with you.
But
It
we
is a
can
natural-
overcome base fucking
we
instincts.
can overcome base instincts.
Like murder. That's a natural human reaction
Yeah.
to want to kill someone.
How many people are up in the joint for murder?
We have
But isn't it a
overcome
great
that.
thing that 4-year-olds can't murder, because there'll probably be a lot more of it, like.
Yeah.
My
Well,
point-
unless you go to Sierra Leone with them child soldiers.
I know,
Yeah.
even
Okay.
at four, they're not going to be able to lift an AK, like.
I know, they get the old Makarov.
Just there's one for you. The Sierra Leone with the kids. Do you think that if they were to come over here on a boat, would you allow them into the country
No.
to try and rehabilitate them?
I think-
or do you think they should be held culpable for their crimes, even though they're children?
Held culpable for the crimes. Even
I'm
though children.
fucking delighted you said that. I'm after backing you into a corner and you're going to get it on me now. I told him I would do this, did I not, Nathan? I told you I was going to do this.
I'm
Don't
here
go
for
on.
the chats. You're the one playing the game, man. I don't care.
Here we go.
Let's go.
So this is coming from the man, by the way, who said that a child cannot make up their own mind whether they are male or female, but they can be held legally culpable for firing a gun at somebody.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, they fired the
Are
fucking
you going to
gun.
be that?
They're drugged.
Are you going to be that inconsistent with your argument?
Yes.
That you're saying
Yes, I am.
on one hand,
I'm going to be para-fucking-bollock with my
what
arguments.
you're saying on one hand is that a child can make the decision to have their they can't make a decision to have their sex changed because they're too young and stupid.
Hang on a second
but no, this is what he said.
I said this.
Yeah, he said that when if you're like a 10-year-old boy and you want to become a girl, he's saying you're a child, you don't have the knowledge, blah 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 blah. We will make the decisions for you, or you make it for yourself when you get older. That's what you have said.
Yes.
So the same hand, you have a
I agree with
child. You have a child over in Sierra Leone who has a gun, who is firing at
I think
people.
they're vastly different fucking issues that shouldn't be compared.
No.
They are vastly different
We're
issues.
talking about
but
we're talking about surgeries versus the ability to rehabilitate.
no, but no. Listen, let me get to the basis of it, because
Right,
trust
okay,
me,
because
trust me, this is going somewhere.
I'm seeing you on a splitting track here, man. You're going to derail.
Trust me. Trust me. Bear with me a
Going
second.
off the rails on a crazy train.
So you're the one.
I'm the one.
You're the one, not me, who said that a child shouldn't have the right to make up their mind on what gender they are.
They shouldn't
Because
even
they
be
don't-
considering it.
Because
Yes.
they don't. Because they
They
don't
should be
have-
living a child's life.
They don't have the mental fortitude to be able to make these types of decisions.
I think with
And
those
yet-
children, it's like when someone has a vegan pet. We know who's making the fucking decisions. then.
And yet, if a child in Sierra Leone who picks up a weapon, who is told by an adult to pick up a weapon and fire the gun, you think they should be held legally culpable. So why is one child intelligent enough to make a decision and the other child not intelligent enough
Hang
to
on a
make their own
second. I don't
decisions?
think even intelligence comes into this. I think
It's not
awareness.
intelligence,
It's awareness.
Okay, awareness. So why is one aware and the other's not?
Well, one's aware is completely confused, right?
Is that the one with the gun, yeah?
No, the one with the doesn't know if he's a boy or a girl. Somebody hasn't given him the building blocks, and somebody has not raised that.
And you
child
think
properly.
the kid has in Sierra Leone?
No. In Sierra Leone, what happened there is that child is trauma bonded to a military leader. He's probably had to kill his own parents just to stay alive
Yeah.
to be in the army.
Yeah.
He's been drugged on a regular basis.
So he's being
and
used.
it becomes a game.
So you said that the child should be legally culpable for his crimes.
Well, yeah, because
He's not the one who put the gun in his hand. Somebody else.
I'm not saying they
done that.
should. I'm saying they are, because an army of grown men is coming in and shooting the little fucker.
Okay, I get
That's
that.
what happens.
I
That's
get that.
what's happening.
Are you going to change your stance and at least I'd say that the child shouldn't be held legally culpable for shooting somebody when it is in fact an adult who is abusing them and making them do this?
That's a tickler.
It is a tickler.
It is a tickler. I just think child soldiers shouldn't happen in the first place.
Okay, I get that.
Yeah,
Shouldn't be.
That's a kind of a universal thing. Like, you know,
But that-
child coal miners kind of, they did away with
Wait,
them.
now hold on. You get a nice vein and it's too tight to fit a big burly man. Child miners were used by. They were.
Yeah, I know, but you know what's even better? Strip mining the whole field.
That's a good
And then
point.
you can plant it back. Up out.
My point being, if you are saying that a child doesn't have the mental wherewithal to make up their own mind on what gender they are, then they surely don't have the mental wherewithal on whether shooting somebody
Is good or
right-
bad.
Good or bad.
Fair enough. I'll agree with you there. But It doesn't matter because in reality, those child soldiers are killed by government forces.
But it does matter. Of course, it still matters.
No, it doesn't matter.
The question still matters. Should they be legally culpable? Because if the world ever gets to a better place and these people grow up and they have been killers in the past, well, then you're saying they need to be.
I don't know about killing. Killing stains the soul, man.
Syrians who have come over into the country. Oh, by the way, do you see where I was coming from on that one now?
A little bit, but
it's a reach and a half.
Yeah. It's not a reach. It's not a reach.
It is a reach.
No, it's absolutely not.
To you, it's not.
Why? Why is me asking you? A child doesn't know the difference between right and wrong in this situation. He also doesn't know the right and wrong in this situation.
Because there is no right and wrong in one of them.
But you support this one and not that one. This is my point.
One of them is not a moral issue.
Which one?
One of them's a shit sandwich.
Well,
One's not a moral issue.
Gender identity is not a moral issue.
Of course that's a moral issue.
How the fuck is that a moral issue?
Because some people have morals to say no.
I'm lost. Gender identity is not a moral issue.
Their morals stand in the way of making a decision on whether they should be male or female. Lots of people have that.
No, but
there's lots of transgender people who are going through the surgery, or not going through the surgery, but going through the process now, who all these years, their morals are the ones that stop them from going through the transition.
Which proves that it's not a moral issue, because as soon as they look past base programming, they fucking went, I'm actually happier in this identity.
It's still a moral issue.
No,
it's a mental health issue.
It's not a mental health issue either.
You're going to get more
I believe it's a mental health issue.
No.
It is.
It's not.
It is. Let's not go into
can't change the DNA.
Sorry, no, hold on one second. There's men and there is women.
Simple as.
And there is nothing in between in my mind.
There is.
There's intersex for a start.
0.006%.
Doesn't matter. We're only talking about small numbers.
Yeah, but it's not.
Yeah,
it's not the numbers I'm on about. It's the media projection of the issue and the polarization of the issue.
It gets clicked. It sells papers. It doesn't change how it affects the individual.
No, it doesn't.
No, and it's not a moral issue.
I didn't say it was a moral issue.
I think it is.
I thought both of you started arguing with me as soon as I said it.
No, I think it is. I think it's a moral issue.
I think it's a mental health one.
Well, first of all, quantify what morals are. What does morals mean?
Well, morals, they're ubiquitous across the world. They pop up in every major society, such as don't kill, don't steal.
Mm-hmm.
These basic codes that allow us to interact as a society.
Because we have to interact to survive.
Okay,
yeah, no
exactly.
man's an island. No person's an island.
And where do all of these morals derive from?
Basic human nature.
No, the Bible, religions.
No. Before all that, basic human nature is what dictated that.
Yeah. The Bible, the Quran, whatever.
They're the one who gave us all our regulations and rules.
But they're only vectors. They are only.
They're an accumulation of societal
They're only transport
norms.
objects for imparting objective moral code in a society. So it's not one person saying it. It is.
So it's
whoever's saying it.
But like the likes of the Catholic Church, Christians. They're trying to instill their moral ethics within
everyone wants
their
control.
Christian society.
So a lot of money in collecting paper every week.
But the point is, they're trying to instill their moral code, and in their moral code, man shall not lie with man. So that's one issue.
Yeah, that was actually a bad translation.
It was a bad translation.
And it's actually man shall not lie with boy.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, that's apparently what it actually says.
Oh.
And I can see why the Catholic Church wants to get rid of that.
That's probably somebody else's interpretation.
I think
the problem is
it comes
it's gone from Sumerian to Sanskrit.
But
lost in translation.
It's lost in translation.
The Old Testament is quite similar to the Torah, the Jewish text.
Oh yeah,
yeah, I've read it.
Do you know?
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at it and you translate it over, that's where the conflict arose, and that's where people were able to go back and say, well, actually, it's taken from this, and if we look at this and say, translate that, if we look at this and translate it back, we can see that it's actually something different than what's been published for the last few hundred years.
But every religion has the same.
They're all shite like.
Okay. No, but it's got the same driving point.
Yes.
Be a good person today, be a better person tomorrow.
Yes.
And
I'm okay with that.
That's a basic moral.
And don't mix your fabrics.
And this is why.
Corinthians.
Wait, please, just stop for a sec. Why is that funny, Nathan?
Fuck off. The first thing I thought of was mixing your fabrics in the washing machine.
You are a dumbass.
Hey, no picking on him. No picking.
Take the t-shirts and towels.
You brought a fucking whopper brain tonight, and you're going to try and feel big about yourself to pick on this guy.
No, I like that.
Pick on this guy.
So wait. If you're going
That's what I thought of in my brain. I thought it was funny because that's what I thought it was.
If you're going to laugh at a joke,
That's what I thought it was.
Understand the joke.
But that's what the joke understood to me. That's what I got from it.
In the Bible, you're not supposed to mix fabrics together.
Oh, I have heard
It's
that. I
against
actually
the
have heard
rules.
that.
It's
You
against-
told me
I
that.
told you this about
me
2
that.
weeks ago.
Yeah,
So
literally.
be safe. We're nothing at all.
So back to my original point.
Same thing. The washing machine don't mix your fabrics.
Back to my original point, which was I asked you to quantify what morals mean. So then, do you not at least conclude that it is a moral issue for some, not necessarily all?
No, morals exist for everyone, and gender identity isn't part of it. I mean,
in your opinion, this is
it doesn't impact your ability to interact with others, and therefore it's not a moral issue.
Yeah, it's not a moral issue.
Hold on, but I have met people who are wanting to go through to become a man or a woman or whatever.
But
it is
are
that
they
wanna
bad people?
become. And no, they're not
Are they
bad
immoral?
No, they're not bad
So
people.
then why are you bringing
but they're
morality into it?
because they are the ones who are saying that my morals. I grew up as a Christian. I was told
Catholic
this.
guilt is a thing.
Okay, so but that's the point.
Their dogma got in the way.
This is why I'm
Exactly.
asking why for you to quantify what morals mean.
No, we don't need to talk about it's nothing to do with morals. Why are we on transgenders when we're on about Richie hating fucking Syrians coming here?
I don't know how we got onto this.
I don't know. It's a serious segue.
Because you went off on a bad train.
And that was a great trade.
The crazy train.
All aboard! Can I just point out that for anybody who didn't get what I was trying to juxtaposition there, that was two things that I was trying to juxtaposition. I think worked out very well because on one hand you have Richie saying a child is knowledgeable enough to make a decision on this, but not this. This is bullshit.
I don't think you can compare those two things at all.
No, I'm not comparing them as
Okay.
I'm not comparing them. I'm comparing the decision making by the child. That's where I'm.
Two very different decisions, though.
Of course, it's two. It doesn't matter. It's still I'm comparing them. So you say that these
See, with the
children
transgender
should be legally culpable for a crime that they committed maybe when they were 9 or 10 for shooting somebody, but a transgender child who doesn't, in my opinion, at 9 and 10 years of age,
Hang on a second.
I have something to shut him up.
Oh, go on.
This is Jamie Bulger, that guy in England. There was 2 boys in England brought a girl down the train tracks and killed her.
No, it was a boy.
A boy, yeah.
Yeah, Jamie Bulger was killed.
Jamie Bulger was killed by
Venables and
Terry Venables and
the other guy.
The other guy, right? Should they have been legally culpable for killing that little boy?
100%.
They were only innocent children in your mind.
No.
No?
No,
No,
absolutely.
they killed them and they should rot in fucking prison. They knew
100%.
exactly what they were doing.
Okay,
100%.
let me ask you a question then. Is there something that you did when you were 10 years of age that you would never do the same again?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, you pissed in a
I
drawer.
didn't fucking kill someone.
You're a different fucking person.
But
You
I didn't fucking kill
It
anybody.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You are a different person. And number one, we're not talking about Jamie Bulger. We're talking about people over in Syria who are handing innocent children who are getting warped by these ISIS scumbag assholes, handing them guns and telling them to shoot people, and you want to hold them children legally culpable. Are you fucking nuts?
We know where ISIS gets its money. So why aren't the people who funded ISIS responsible for funding the refugees' repatriations around the world?
Sorry, say that again. Say it again.
The people who are responsible for ISIS.
Yes.
We know where their money comes from.
Do we?
Yes, you do.
Okay, go on.
I don't know. The people, the information networks around the world, the CIA, NSA, I'm sure when every time they take an ISIS stronghold, they find information. They see the money trail. Turkey being heavily involved in ISIS operations.
What's that got to do with the innocent children?
Why isn't the countries responsible for ISIS paying for the refuge of the refugees? Why is that not our focus? Why is our focus, we'll just take them in and deal with this massive problem? Why don't we deal with the start of the problem?
Because nobody's taking responsibility. There's
Because
no single country.
the whole focus of the ISIS thing is to build the caliphate, to build that
caliphate,
yeah. So they're not really they want to build their fucking Holy Roman Empire,
Yes, they do.
Do you know?
It's not going to happen.
No, but that's what they want to do. So the resources are going into that, and they're kind of going. If people want to flee away from it, well, then they probably should be killed, and that's why people are fleeing from it because
nobody wants to live in that
fear
shit.
of life,
It's like the revolution in Iran in the 70s.
Yeah.
You had women in miniskirts in the 60s, and then 10 years later, they're fucking head to toe hijab.
A mate of mine, actually, his dad came over to Ireland during that time, settled here, and Good lad, he's in the Navy now.
Iran's a serious country. Like, there's a
Syria was a serious country.
Yeah, so was Libya.
Damascus was a beautiful city.
And
Probably
now
still
Damascus is flattened. Have you seen Damascus? I was looking for photographs of it last night.
Rubble.
Fucking rubble.
Really?
Nothing left of it.
Oh,
and there's people in this world who are saying, send them back. Send them back to what?
Rubble.
Would you do
Why,
that?
so they can starve?
Would you do that?
No, I wouldn't.
Would you expect a family? Would you send a family into
Whoever's
the desert?
here, you made it. Let's keep you.
No. And this is what I'm saying. We shouldn't be keeping them. And this is why I was leading on to earlier.
No, I think we should.
Let me finish. No, let me finish. Because, as I said, there's doctors, engineers, blah, 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 blah. There's so many decent people who have come over here.
That would be important back there.
I had a conversation with a guy this evening. He was supposed to come on. That was the guy that was supposed to come on this evening. His name is Franco. And he works in a direct provision centre. And he teaches the kids English.
Good man.
And it would have been amazing to have him on to see his experience with these people.
Much better than me.
I was talking to him for about an hour tonight, and the stories that he was telling me, there's fathers sitting in front of him who had their wives raped and murdered in front of them, their kids murdered, and all they want to do is go home, but they have nothing to go home to.
Right. And they're probably still afraid to go back as well.
Terrified. They said when the country is rebuilt, we want to go home.
Right.
Why would they want to stay here?
Right. First of
These
all,
are respectable people.
I'm not saying they're not respectable people. I'm just saying this isn't the best place for them. But whoever is here now, we've made an investment in them.
Right now, it's the best place for them.
Right.
It's not.
Our country has made an investment in these people.
It's not a particularly large investment.
And I wouldn't call it
on
an
a per
investment.
person.
No, but it's an investment nonetheless.
No, it's not an investment.
It is.
Oh, because we're an investment. You expect a return.
Yes, it's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
No,
we're talking about aid.
Humanitarian aid.
This is not an investment.
They're not all going to go. Some of them will adapt and integrate like every group of people that come
And
here.
so be it.
And so be it. I'm not saying that's a problem, right? I just don't like this idea of us, Europe, this thing we're stuck with now.
Sure, like,
if
you look at the Hunger Games, it's like we're living in the capital.
Yeah.
Sorry, what were you saying about Europe?
Europe, the view the rest of the world has of us as this soft spot where you can come and be looked after. There are people literally coming
life
for benefit
isn't
from.
cheap here.
Oh
like,
God! Imagine having a terrible name like Good Old Ireland.
Soft spot.
So what? We have a good name.
People take advantage of soft spot.
People from hardened shithole parts of the world. Look at the amount
Where?
Albania. The Albanians come to Ireland and England and commit mass amounts of fraud, run gangs, run prostitution. They do run criminal empires.
Okay,
here.
And here's
But,
the thing:
like,
those Albanians
there's Irish that go abroad and run huge criminal empires as well.
in Spain, for
Yeah, but they
example.
don't last too long.
In Spain, for example,
They
we know
don't
the
last too long.
Hutches and the Kinahans.
Yeah, a lot of them
They
get
spread all over the world as well.
Yeah, but
so
the
they're
Spanish
our
boys
problem.
are much bigger than them, though. That's a different kettle of fish because you've the proximity to Morocco and the drug trade there.
It's great how you make excuses for these people, but not for migrants coming into the country.
I just don't think it's.
You're
a
making
good
excuses
idea.
for your own.
I just don't think it's a good
That's
idea.
tribalism.
It is tribalism, nationalism, yes.
Yeah,
So
he's
Sinn Féin,
xenophobic, like.
that's us.
Why? No, I wouldn't say xenophobic.
No, xenophobic is the correct term. I prefer xenophobic to racist because racist makes you seem like you're not intelligent. You can be xenophobic. There's nothing wrong with having your patch and trying to defend it as best you can.
Really?
It's human fucking nature.
But you're already recognising the need for genetic diversity. So protect your patch by making it grow healthy crops.
Right. But we're getting enough traffic. Let's be selective with the traffic we use
No,
genetically.
not where aid is concerned.
What?
Not where aid is concerned. Where migration is concerned, absolutely. We need to tighten up our border. That's what we need to do and let in better people into the country. But where
It's hard
aid
enough
is,
to get in here, like.
Oh, it's so difficult.
Yeah.
We have friends who have gone through the process and getting kicked out of the country, so it is
Yeah.
quite a difficult process. But when it comes to aid, not migration, when it comes to aid, we have been doing this since there was I remember there was something went over on in China years and years ago in the 70s and 80s, and we took in, what did we call them? The Chinese boatmen, we call them. You guys are probably too young to remember this.
It was our first wave of proper immigrants.
First
yeah.
wave, and we never paid attention to them. Isn't it funny how when there's so many Chinese people in Ireland, and we never really gave them grief. It's only when the people who are coming in who proclaim their Islamic allegiance, that's when a lot of people seem to have a problem with them. Because we have Polish, we've Lithuanians, we've all of these type of...
Yeah, but see, the Polish, Lithuanians, they're such a good fit to us because they're so similar to us.
Okay, they're a good fit. I agree. They're a good fit.
They're Christian. They have the same values as us.
My best friend in the entire world is a Pakistani guy, and the amount of things since I met him, I met a lot of other Pakistanis, Indians, that type of thing, and learning about their culture, learning about their religion.
It's interesting as fuck.
It's interesting as fuck. Of course it is, and it makes for a more diverse society.
Yeah, but when I'm rocking around Luton, and you're going down the street, and every woman's wearing a burqa, you feel like you're in
you cannot
different countries.
Are you insulted by a burqa?
But not even that. Like, you cannot compare what was the epicenter of the British Empire and all the international travel and its movement of people associated with it to little old Ireland.
So we're right
That's
next
a really
door.
good point, Pierce.
We're right next door, and we're chasing after them.
Sorry, that's a really good point that he just made.
But it's like it's the cultural influence.
I know
of
they have the whole
England.
post-colonial thing where the Commonwealth and everybody
Do me
came
a
to
favour,
England.
Pierce. Hold that thought.
Okay.
Because you're going to ruin it, because I know what you were thinking. I think I know what you're thinking. I hope I know what you're thinking. Immigration.
Talk to you later.
Immigration.
Meow, 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 meow.
Immigration hasn't really been a success in the UK.
No.
We can agree that. It has been.
Let's face it, the immigration they brought to the rest of the world wasn't a great success either.
Of course. But I think immigration into Ireland has been a hell of a lot more successful than any other country in the world for one reason.
Because we're soft.
Not because we're soft, because we're nosy assholes. Let me qualify what I'm talking about. So in the UK, when you had Pakistanis move in, they would congregate in one street, and that would become a Pakistani street.
Yeah.
Here in Ireland,
You wouldn't get away with that.
You wouldn't get away with it.
Not out of badness,
they
but just
seem to be our neighbours. They have actually integrated into our society, whereas over in the UK they haven't integrated. It's more segregation than integration.
Yeah, definitely.
It's called a parallel society.
Exactly.
But even if you
here
look
we
at
don't
like
have that.
Sean O'Halapine, what was it? His mother's from Fiji, his father's from Fermanagh. Neither are hurling stronghold.
Yeah.
But
he played for Cork.
Yeah. That was like one of the commentaries on him coming
But I
on
watched
the
a
pitch,
documentary about him, and he went back to Fiji, and you see him knocking around a canoe, and he was thinking, I still wouldn't trade it for Cork.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I love that. I do. I love a success story, right? But what I'm saying with these Syrians is, it's what we're doing is putting a band-aid on a bullet wound. I'm not saying,
and that's all we have the capability to do right now.
I can't remember your man's name, but is he is he there? Is he in Leitrim or Longford or one of them?
Baz.
No, but he's the dude. He was on RTE News because he started making violins.
Oh yes, and he met the president.
Yeah.
Okay, so actually Franco, the guy I was telling you about earlier, was his tutor.
No way.
That was his tutor. That's how I know this story.
Your man that was meant to be coming on the show.
Yeah.
Yes. Don't get me wrong.
Reason,
right?
like I really was the backup.
It's a shit sandwich there to take a bite out of. I'm just saying, logistically,
you're saying it's not our problem.
Because we're a neutral country as best we can be.
Okay.
We do not involve ourselves in international wars.
No, we don't.
No, we've no place.
I believe the UK,
but we provide aid.
The US and France,
and we provide aid.
Yeah, but where do we cut it off?
They were the biggest, and the Russians were the biggest bombers of Syria.
Yes.
Right, and they sided against Bashar al-Assad.
Yes.
Right, in favor of anti-government forces.
Okay.
Which there were many, because there's the YPG and the YPJ as well. The Kurds were looking for their own territory, which they have been for many, many years. The Middle East is a quagmire. The Yanks went in.
That's because everyone outside of it has tried to redraw it.
Exactly. And bombed the shit out of it. Everything after the Balfour Declaration in 1947, the creation of the State of Israel. That's where all the fucking trouble started.
Okay.
If you go back slightly further, 1909, they discovered oil there.
Yes.
That might have been the real starting point.
Probably. And while I appreciate, and I'm sure our listeners do as well, the history lesson, and they're getting a great education from you, you're still not making a case.
My point is, we're Ireland. We're tiny. We're us. We only have our states since 1921 to 1974.
Let me ask you a question. Should Ireland just be for the Irish?
How many were living here? How many people were living in Ireland in, I don't know,
pre-famine times?
1820, yeah.
8.5 million.
A lot more than now.
8.5 million.
Yeah.
But there was more jobs for those.
Can I ask you a question?
Everybody had their place.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Where do you cut it off? Do you just keep taking them?
No, we already have a cut-off point.
4,000.
Yes, that would. We made an agreement with the EU that we would take in 4,000 Syrian
Right.
migrants.
Joe Biden starts a war next year in some other fucking brown country.
And then we take more.
We have
and
to
we take more.
We
And
have
then
to-
he starts another war and we take more.
Okay.
And then
So
there's a
you-
nuclear disaster and we take more.
And that's-
Where do you stop?
That's what I'm asking
Maybe
as well.
when we build our own nuclear plants,
Where do you stop?
energy independent.
You don't stop. You don't.
But sure, we don't have enough houses for our own
Dude,
people.
you
We
don't
know that.
You don't stop giving aid to people who are down on their luck. If Ireland turns into a Syrian hellhole, if Ireland becomes a shithole and it's flattened, then we're not going to be able to take in anybody. But we're in such a privileged fucking position. Look around you, lads. Look around you.
Lads,
there's plenty of there's land. There's plenty of money in this country, and there's plenty of help.
Can I just make another point, by the way?
Yes.
Like, I mean, if you look around the world, if you look at like FARC, Etna, the Tamil Tigers, like all these, like, fucking radical terrorist groups, whatever. A lot of them were trained by the Irish.
Yes, they were. The IRA.
No, because
No.
the reason they were...
I'm going to finish.
Yeah.
I to be honest now, there could be a thing that, like, if shit ever kind of kicked off here in that fashion, it'd be kicked back pretty quick and twice as hard.
Mm-hmm. The reason why the IRA go and train people was, one, they needed funding. It was a great way to make money.
Absolutely.
Two, we learned how to fight off the best people at war.
Yeah.
The world has ever known. They couldn't have the house next door.
No.
They just got the attic.
Yeah.
That's all they got.
And they're being fucking bred out of it.
They're being bred out. You know what I mean? From the time of the flying columns, that was the first act of guerrilla warfare.
Yeah.
Was run down, shoot them, take their guns, and fuck off back up the hills and go home and don't be caught. And there was nothing they could do. They still haven't found a way of fighting that. And every security system in the world is built against that kind of thing. The barrack buster was an Irish invention.
Yeah.
You get an LPG bottle, you stuff it with C4, you fill it back up with gas, put some fins on it, and you can lob it over a wall and do a heap of harm.
Have we ran out of resources?
Ireland?
Yes.
No, we're...
In what way?
It's a question. It's just a general question.
Sorry.
We have massive oil and gas reserves that we don't get a taste of.
Okay, so have we ran out of resources? Is the country in a stranglehold at the moment?
No.
No, I'm not talking about resources. I didn't say it's about resources.
Are we in a bad place?
Yes. Because we have a neoliberal cocksucker government.
You can walk out that door and go down to McDonald's and get your fucking self a cheeseburger. You're in a bad place. It's a bad place. This is a terrible, horrible
that's
place.
just capitalism.
That's
There's
a
something
bad
there for
example.
everybody who has got the money for it.
And the vast majority of people in this country are taken care of. The vast majority.
I'm not taken care of. I work for everything I fucking have.
Go on social welfare and stop complaining.
No. Because what you last week giving out about the welfare
I
state.
am. So if you're so fucking worried about having to work and you don't want to work, go on social welfare.
I'm not saying I don't want to work.
You're afforded them rights by the Irish government.
And I have the right to work and provide for myself as well.
So then be happy.
Exactly.
Oh, no, I'm not being happy because this guy has got some sort of chip on his shoulder this evening.
I fucking do, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because what you're doing is, I know the type of person you are, and I know you don't refuse help to people.
No, never
Exactly.
ever would, no matter what
So
kind of person.
all
This is why
here's
I'm
how
angry.
Here's how we cure it, right? We just get you, and we put you at the port, Richie.
And I'll pull them cunts in.
And you will.
He would. I know he
I'll
would.
put them on a plane and send them back.
Ah, wait.
You're at the port there. You're at the port there.
Sorry, hold on. You wouldn't. This is why I'm angry with you, because I think you're putting on a face. This is what I think you're doing. Because I think that you wouldn't be sending them back to a wasteland. If you understood the situation...
Don't send them to Turkey.
If you understood the situation in its entirety, I know in my heart and soul, you would not send them people back. You would try to help them. So why the brave face? Why the fuck them all, it's their business, Ireland's for the Irish? What is that coming from? Is that coming from where? Where is this negativeness?
Do you think we've enough of our own problems, Richie?
I think we've enough of our own fucking problems.
No, we don't. Not compared to them.
Yeah, but that's their problem.
It's not our problem.
It is our problem.
If I'm at home, right?
We're all humanity.
And I hear the guy next door battering his wife.
Yes.
I'll ring the guards.
Okay.
Right? And after that, it's not my fucking problem.
No, because you've rang 2, 3, 4 people that are fresh and in their day's work to come in and sort it out in a proper manner.
Yeah. And this is what's
Yeah.
wrong. This is where the fucking world is turning to. It's not my problem the woman next door is being beaten up. It's not my problem there's kids, well let me finish, starving on the fucking streets in Syria and people being bombed to bits and people fucking dying. This is paradise compared to what these people have.
Yeah.
And you want to deny them the right to have some sort of peaceful fucking life.
I don't want to deny them anything.
But it's not your problem.
Yeah.
It's not your problem. This is what's wrong with society. We're all saying it's not our problem. It is our fucking problem.
If I went over to the house next door and battered your man, I'd get in trouble. And she could probably turn around and beat the shit out of me as well and say, oh, no, I still love him.
I get that.
You know what?
I've done that. I've been in that situation.
Yeah, I know. Been there. That's why I use that situation as a counterpoint. All I'm saying is, it is not Ireland's problem what happens in the north of the African continent.
Yes, it is.
It's not.
Yes, it is. As human beings, for fuck's sake, it is. When I'd love to tell people what you work at, you bastard. I'd love to be able to do it. But when I'm going to say it to you on the smoke break.
Are you saying, Richie, if it happened in England, it'd be our problem? In Great Britain?
Yeah, because it's so close.
I kind of get that in a way. I do understand where he's coming from.
What?
Because it's so far away.
It doesn't matter.
Let them deal with it.
So you're telling me that
I kind of get where he's coming
your
from.
issue is distance?
So wait now, should we start taking boats of people from Honduras to stop them having to go along the Mexican caravan? Because there's a lot more people being killed getting from Guatemala and Honduras to Mexico to Texas than there is people being killed from getting from Syria through Turkey, through France, Spain to Ireland.
If they made a decision to come to Ireland from Honduras, if they made that decision and they come over here, they are now our problem, yes.
Yeah.
Like all the Brazilians getting in on Portuguese passports.
It does not matter how many fucking countries they pass through.
That's another side effect of colonialism.
It doesn't matter how many countries they go through before they get here. In my opinion, it makes no difference. Once they land on our doorstep and they ask us for help, we would be inhumane pigs to turn around and say to these people, no.
No. I don't. Now look, there's so many problems with Ireland. I think we should work on Ireland's problems before we take in.
I think we should be
other
grateful.
people's problems.
I think we should be fucking very grateful for what we have in this country. We should be very grateful.
It's starting to slip from our hands, man.
Instead of coming on air every week, Richie, and giving out about this country. You were the one who said this is a beautiful country. You love living here, but then again, you complain so much about it. Why can't
about the way it's ran, he complains about.
Why can't we just be grateful for what we have? Because in comparison to the rest of the world, this is one of the safest, nicest countries you can absolutely live in.
I love my country.
We are privileged.
I love my countrymen. I despise the country running it. And that's a fair statement. And I guarantee there's a lot of people out there who would agree with me.
And there's a lot of people out there who like to do exactly what you're doing. A lot of giving out about something, but will never actually do something about it.
Because it's a self-sustaining system designed to protect itself. And I cannot wait for Frank and
it's
Johan to come in here and rip you an intellectual arsehole.
Because it's not your problem, Richie. And on that note, we're going to go to an ad break.
Yeah, Frank, I'll get to your comment in a minute, Frank.
So, Billy, does your social media look like a teenager's bedroom?
What? Full of Justin Bieber posters?
No, you incompetent fool. Messy and unorganized.
Yeah, it kinda does. But what can I do about it?
Oh, poor simple Billy. Why not put all your social media in one convenient place?
But gee whiz, mister, how can I do that?
With Social QR, of course. It's easy, fast, and free.
But what's Social QR?
Well, Billy, I'm glad you asked. Social QR is a one-stop shop for personal and business social media users to have all your social media in one place. Easy to set up, easy to share, and fully customizable, with your own custom QR code suitable for digital and print media.
Jiminy crickets, so now it'll be as tidy as my web browser?
So don't forget, Billy, that's socialqr.xyz. And Billy, take down the Justin Bieber posters.
Aww.
Every day, Richie has to drive 2 miles to bum tobacco from his friends. With your generous donation of only $19.20 a week, Richie won't have to sponge from his friends. Text Richie to 52103427591268089 so we can finally tell Richie to piss off.
From its rich traditions beginning when the first AM radio transmission was broadcast in the year 1900 to present day, where radio is still the most listened to form of media and the #1 source for people of all ages to enjoy their favorite music and discover new artists. Sure, the technology has changed, but the concept has stood the test of time throughout history. From the end of World War II,
General Eisenhower informs me that the forces of Germany have surrendered to the United Nations. The flags of freedom fly all over Europe.
To the falling of the Berlin Wall.
Our top story. The Iron Curtain between East Germany and West Berlin has come tumbling down.
To the U.S. entering the War on Terror.
None of us will ever forget this day, yet we go forward to defend freedom and all that is good and just in our world. Thank you. Good night, and God bless America.
Generations across the world are united by music as it transcends all language barriers. It brings everyone on planet Earth closer together. We at iStreamRadio.ie understand what radio has done for the world and would like to thank radio for its 100 plus years of service. Radio has been here through thick and thin. Thank you, radio.
Imagination is the beginning of creation. You imagine what you desire. You will what you imagine. And at last, we create what you will. Don't wait for the right opportunity. Let us create it. When the virtual world of the internet, ideas, dreams, and concepts have become a reality, now is the time to bring your idea to the digital world. MilestoneMedia.ie offer a full range of digital services such as web development, hosting, audio, and visual services. Inspiration has a new platform. MilestoneMedia.ie. Experience the difference.
Tired of getting more screwed over than your cousin Jesse's pig? Sick of those uppity cowboys over at the Irish Insurance Federation? Is your vehicle being overpriced because it's undervalued? Does your annual quote leave you feeling sicker than the morning you woke up beside your sister? Well, leg it down to Leggett Insurance. Leggett Insurance is the answer to all your insurance needs. Bored off the road? No problem. Old lady turf you out and you gotta move your collection of lawn art? That's okay. Underage? Well, shit, that ain't your fault. Our unique style of cover provisions includes a real insurance disc to put in your windshield and the understanding that if something goes wrong, you use our groundbreaking policy. Run as fast as you can before anyone gets your wrench. The golden rule is to make sure you pick up any bits of your car left behind so you can't be identified. Your one-off payment of $29.99 annually provides all of the above. And for an additional $40, we provide you with a full windscreen worth in your very own Leggett disc holder. Just call us on 2800 Yeehaw! That's 2800 Yeehaw! Sail through that checkpoint today!
Itchy, smelly scrotum getting you down. Worried about ball sweat on the dance floor? Well, worry no more. New sandalwood and lavender scented Man Ponds has your nutsack covered. Our unique smell-inhibiting fibrous wadding ensures your most repugnant odors are kept to yourself. So next time she drops the hand, you can feel confident it's not into a vat of nut soup. And don't forget, you can be the sweetest smelling stud in the nursing home with new Man Ponds Twilight Edition for seniors. Order our economy size 86 pack today on manponds.org. Man Ponds, because you don't need to smell any worse.
The Supernatural Dogshit podcast is controversial and confrontational and may cause offense to some. Listener discretion is advised.
And you're very welcome back to the Supernatural Dogshit podcast.
But you're not welcome to Ireland if you're Syrian.
Finally, you said it. We're glad we got around you.
An hour of foreplay.
If you're not smiling after that, I'm done my job wrong.
I do have a question for you.
That got a little heated, didn't it?
It got warm.
And it's quite cold outside.
Baby, it's cold outside. That's the first thing that popped in my head as well.
Is it just me or are volumes very high?
Yeah.
They were high all night, so you may leave them there because my ears are fucked.
Yeah.
Why?
They just are.
From this shit?
Yeah.
This shit, yeah.
It's been high all night.
You should really
And
not have your ears being blown off for 3 hours.
I wear about... I listen to about 6-7 hours of podcasts a day in work with my headphones on. So I have headphones
that dropped
on
off a click when you turned that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's better.
That's better for all of us.
That's more comfortable. That's nice. Yeah, that's nice.
So
That's
go on,
nice.
Aiden.
Let's wrap this
Yeah,
fucking
we need
topic.
we need to wrap it up. But I will just conclude by saying, if there's aid needed somewhere in the world, as humans, not as Irish people, because about, Jesus, what was it, about 3 years ago, I was on the Niall Boylan show as Mr. Scumbag, Steve. And we were talking about Ireland being divided, Northern Ireland and Ireland being divided. And somebody asked, somebody was going on about, banging on about being Irish. And I came along and I asked the question, I said, okay, can anybody tell me, what does it mean to be Irish? And for the past 3 years, that question has been stuck in my head. Don't ask me why.
The mortal fear of a wooden spoon.
or a slipper.
Or a slipper.
Yeah.
My mother was like the Wild West with a slipper.
I can imagine.
No, seriously.
I'd say you needed it.
Was it like Eddie Murphy Delirious?
Oh yeah, you'd hear diddle-doo and but draw. The question that I was asked, what does it mean to be Irish? And I think I've drawn a conclusion after 3 years that it doesn't mean anything to be Irish. It means something to be human.
Definitely.
And that's the part that we should be looking at, not nationalism. Nationalism turns people into terrorism. That's what happens.
Or fascism.
And what we need to do is we need to look at people.
One thing about fascism.
We need to look at people on an individual basis. Go ahead.
They always have the best uniforms.
They do.
Bosses involved.
They do.
But even the Italians, man. Wow. Wow.
Is it the Italians that have the police cars in Alfa Romeo?
Yeah, the Lamborghinis and all this, like, and they did,
Alfa Romeo Giulietta GTA police car.
What did they do? They brought an organ from one part to the other at an average speed of 175 mile an hour.
It was the fastest way to do it. It was faster than a helicopter.
Yeah.
Miles an hour.
Miles an hour.
That sounds like my kind of job.
That would want to be on a straight
A
road.
Lamborghini Huracan, and they fucking bombed it.
Yeah.
Imagine the amount of fuel they would have used.
Oh yeah, but it's Italian. They would have done with such style and panache.
Lovely red stripe in their trousers.
Oh yeah.
So finishing up on that, yes, I think anybody who deserves aid should receive aid, and that's my final point in that. Mr. Fox, do you have a final point before we move on?
My final point is, like, if people need shelter and safety,
give it to them. I get you. I get the needs and stuff.
And also,
why
if
us?
Because we can improve our genetic diversity. If you want to be base about it, there's a base fucking.
I get it's a valid point.
Yeah,
and it's very. You could come at it any way you like, and you're going to be clutching at straws.
Let Piers have his final thought, and then you can have your final thought.
I think it's a mutually beneficial relationship.
See, I don't feel the same way. I don't think it's mutually beneficial.
Genetic diversity is a.
That is, but the way we're going about this problem at the minute isn't. We have
we're
direct.
talking about 0.1% of our population difference.
But I don't think direct provision is a good thing for them.
No, it's shite.
No, it's terrible.
But I don't think then granting them
provision.
immediate citizenship or entitlements that you get when you're a citizen isn't a good thing either.
No, I think, like, there has to be a kind of a middle ground between the two, because you can't just have anyone walking in and setting up a shop or whatever else. You need to have some sort of quality control on how society interacts with each other. Even just to avoid ghettos, enclaves, and protection rackets from arising within immigrant communities.
And I think we've successfully done that here in Ireland to avoid the ghettos.
Yeah, you put them in direct provision where nobody can see them.
But not even that, like, but even when people are out living in the community, should the community be always wondering who they are? Who's Tommy over there, like?
Yeah, who's that lad?
Yeah.
And can I also just point out one of the things that pisses
Why does
me
his
off
food smell nice?
about
it smells so good.
Their food is awesome, isn't it?
Spices.
One thing that pisses me off in relation to Syrians and migrants coming into this country is, and I'm going to use the Irish flag as an example. So about 2 years ago,
a little bit longer ago, it was blue with a gold harp.
There was a complaint saying that we should remove all Irish flags from, like, outside courthouses, outside pubs, anywhere there's an Irish flag. We should remove it because it's insulting people who come over to Ireland.
No.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's retarded to say that.
That sounds like something the Sun had put up just to sell a few papers.
Exactly. But here's the thing. Here's the funny part about this story. It wasn't a migrant. It wasn't
it was one of our own.
A foreigner. It was a TD, one of their own do-gooder snowflakes, lefty liberals who decided to do this.
That's someone just looking to keep a seat.
But what happened there was it gave the migrants a bad name. And there's so many of those examples going around this country that's what's happening. It's giving migrants a bad name. They're just people trying to work and live their lives and have kids and be happy and merry, and they deserve that exactly the way we deserve it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, Mr. Lynham.
Yeah.
Have you any final thoughts?
I just think we have to draw the line somewhere. You can't just keep taking them.
Okay.
You just can't.
Okay.
And then you're saying...
I thought you meant to draw a line in this argument, like you're bored of it.
Well, that too. And you're saying, like, to mix with other races is good, right? But we're fucking them into these camps anyway, so they're not mixing.
No, they're going to be stuck there for up to 10 years. Like, I mean, you have kids born in it that never have seen outside of it.
Yeah, they're being denied their basic human rights.
And I mean, like, that's literal child abuse. Like, that's state-sponsored child abuse. Like, that's the same as the mother and baby homes. That's the same as everything else that's ever gone on.
It's the incarceration of children.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
Yeah, it's internment because there's no trial.
When you say draw the line, what I said to you outside when we were having a smoke was, it's not a problem yet, so why the hell are we complaining
because
about
it will become one if we keep taking them.
Okay, it will become a problem if they come over 1 million at a time. That's not going to happen.
So stop the problem before it starts.
How do you know it's not going to happen?
It's not going to happen, Richie.
How do you know it's not going to happen?
The world will not let that happen.
The largest human migration in human history is happening right now within the borders of China.
Okay, show me one.
Show me one example of where 1 million people moved in and out of Ireland on a single day or a single week.
Not Ireland, humans moving.
Oh, sure, humans move every day.
Migration. Like inside China at the minute, there's about 1 billion people migrating within its borders.
Yeah. But sure, like
people leave.
That's still like what? Like they've over 1 billion, and you're talking about 1 million. That's like 1,000. Yeah. That's like 1 out of every 1,000 people moving around. That's not a lot of people.
But in China, it's causing massive problems.
Well, of course it is. A huge amount of people. Like.
There's massive brain drains going on in all the rural areas, and the rural areas are getting poorer, and the cities are becoming overcrowded.
Like what happened here. Like what happened everywhere where there's economic development at a fast pace. Yeah. People want to aspire to the better life, like.
Exactly the same reasons why the Mexicans are going into the United States. They want a better life.
I thought Mexico closed the border with America.
They did. The Mexican side closed.
But what I'm saying, but what I'm saying is,
2020 is a good year.
Mexicans want to go from Mexico into the United States because it is a safer, more prosperous life, hopefully for
apart
them.
From the medical bills.
And anybody who wouldn't want that, there's something wrong with them.
Well, there is something.
I couldn't live in. Could you live in Syria right now?
Me on my own, not with my family.
Let's say Ireland came under attack from whoever it may be. Terrorists, and it looked like Syria, flattened.
I'd stay and fight.
Would you? The fight is over. The fight's over. 1 or 2 of your children have been killed. Extended members of your family have been killed. This is just a wasteland. Would you still live here, or would you do the responsible thing and take your children and go somewhere safe?
I don't know. Not in that situation.
I'd go to England, though. I wouldn't be going to Syria.
I would go somewhere safe.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, these people have left countries of sanctuary and just come here because it's a soft spot.
Okay, but so would I. That's exactly what I would be looking for.
But you're a man of comfort.
If you're in somewhere like Turkey or whatever, and you're stuck in a refugee camp, which could be tens of thousands of people living out of UN tents, like
or worse, UNICEF.
Yeah, but like they're still UN.
Yeah, but it's worse.
UNICEF, UN, only worse.
But like, I mean, like, there's no life in them. There's no life in the camps.
There's no life in any of it.
Yeah. No, there's not.
These people are fucked with a capital F-U-C-K-E-D. You know what I mean?
So
I think
they're working their angles to try and do better.
Right. Can we agree that not one of us in this room has the capability to solve that problem?
No.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's get on with the fun side of the show.
Exactly, but I would love.
We're going to welcome them in.
I would love I'd love for once if Nathan just wrapped up on this too. You just said
he did. Oh well, I was going to say as well. You were saying that a lot of them are well educated.
Yes.
Only 35% of them are well educated.
That's a lot. Jesus Christ, man! From what has
if you took a sample from Ireland you'd struggle to get 60.
Thank you. That's exactly what I was about to say. That's exactly what I was supposed to say.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You look at Ireland. I wouldn't say 35% of us are well educated.
Look at Michael and Danny Healy up there in the Dáil, and you're like, oh,
exactly.
Face palm every time they open their fucking beak, man.
They have a great performance, though.
It's the
all a performance.
It's just Punch and Judy, man.
Yeah.
Look at Leo taking the speech from Lord of the Rings.
And Terminator. In all fairness, Mean Girls was a choice moment, though.
He did that because people texted him.
He quoted Mean Girls in one of his speeches because someone said, you wouldn't be able to fit Mean Girls into one of your speeches. Like, he was ripping
So he was dared to do it.
He was dared to do it, and he did it. And he did it in style.
And he was called out by the actor from Lord of the Rings.
No way. Was he?
Your man, actually, who said the line.
I didn't know that.
Sweet.
Made a call-out video to Leo Varadkar.
Just before we go on as well, I've got some comments we didn't get to.
Oh,
Please.
yeah.
So Teresa wants to know, did you guys hug on the smoke break? No.
Nope. We took a piss off a balcony.
She also says people need people.
Yes.
They do. Well, I will agree with that. So Frank says, this is for Aiden. It's a did you know?
Yeah.
What was O'Connell Street called before it was called Sackville Street? And what 3 other streets adjacent to O'Connell Street are named after the same man? I'll give you the answer on Thursday.
Oh, I would have no idea about that.
Joe Quinlan says, well, lads, on the bees. Stefan says, Alfa Romeo 159 JT.
Yeah, that's what I have.
That's you.
That's what I have.
Had.
No, still have.
It's back in your possession?
That is mine.
You own it again?
Yes.
Okay.
You got... What?
Yeah.
What? You got Alfa Romeo?
Do you not know this?
No!
Yeah, it's red. It's red. It's lovely.
Oh, the 3-door.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
With the leather
I
interior.
did see it.
Yeah, it's nice, but it's no 156 JTD.
What is it that I have then?
You have a 159.
No, it's not a 1.5 anything.
Is yours not diesel?
It's not a 1.5. It's not even a number.
Oh, it's a name.
It's a name.
A Barra.
No.
Not the Brera. The Brera is so beautiful.
It's the little 3-door. It's a beautiful.
It's a cute. It's somewhere between a coupe and a hatchback. Like.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alfa Romeo GT.
GT.
That's it. It actually is a GT. It is a GT.
yeah,
Oh,
very
you know your
good, yeah.
cars.
Would you believe if I told you that was based off a Fiat Bravo?
Really?
Yes, I would.
Same
actually.
chassis, I'd
Same
say,
chassis.
It looks it's
as
similar.
a Fiat Bravo.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it's not a multipla.
No. Fiat's kick ass. Fiat's kick ass. Man.
Yeah. Still though, Lancia Telma would be nicer.
Fiat had a terrible name for years. Fix it again.
Fix it again tomorrow. Yeah.
But
Ford found
in
on rubbish
fairness,
dump.
I've
never heard that one before like that.
Nor have
It's an
I.
Australian one.
Every single Fiat that I've had never let me down.
My old boy bought a brand new one in 1998, and it wasn't until 2003 that it started to give bother.
That's
And
5
it was
years.
A fuel pump and a starter went on.
And that's it.
That's it.
That's good going.
For Fiat, man.
Yeah.
So where did they get a bad name from?
Basically in the 70s and 80s. See, Fiat were great pioneers, and they pioneered fuel injection and fuel pumps.
And having a racetrack on your roof.
And they got pretty bad at installing and putting seals in their fuel tanks, which they were pressurizing.
Oh.
So there was a case where a lot of families were instantly immolated by their Fiat. You just be driving down the road, boom, because the fuel tank is under the back seats.
Of course, yeah.
The fuel pump access is directly under the back seats.
You have to take that, yes.
And instead of pumping fuel and pressurizing it in the line, it was pressurizing the whole tank. So what it did was it shot fuel into the car and ignited it at the same time.
Oh my god.
So it's like a waterfall of igniting fuel inside your Fiats.
That's a geyser you don't be part of.
If only Hitler had this technology.
And then...
Hey, no, I'm saying that's what he would have. That's what he would have used versus the other way.
And then they owned Lancia at the time, and they still technically own Lancia, but it's all under the Chrysler Fiat Group.
Yeah.
Well, you saying he would have burnt all the Jews instead of gassing them?
No, I'm not saying I would have. I'm saying if
He would have.
Hitler-
That's what I
Hitler,
said.
Yes.
Okay, anyway.
Lancias
Let's
were
not talk
made
about an
out of-
Austrian painter.
Well, can I also just point? Yeah, he is an Austrian painter. Can I also just point out because it would have been easier to get rid of the bodies because
Yeah, it
after
would
they
have.
were gassed,
Would have been ash.
they had to be all buried in the ground, so it would have been
but
easier
then
to burn them.
But then you have. I think he did that.
He did, he burnt the bodies afterwards. His crematory is...
I thought they were buried.
But here, look, these
There was
gas
mass
chambers...
graves, and then they kind of ran out of space, so they started cremating, and then the ovens never stopped in Auschwitz.
Yeah,
Oh.
but the gas chambers had wooden doors.
I don't.
Wooden doors on a gas chamber, just...
I don't
all
think.
I said.
I don't think they were worried about conserving.
No, just pump it.
Like
Zyklon B, because Zyklon A had a smell.
Jean Doyle is here.
Yes.
She says there's a difference between illegal immigrants and refugees, which, yeah, there is.
There is.
Absolutely,
Massive
yeah.
difference, yeah.
Yeah.
Katie Quinlan says free world, Richie.
Free world, no.
It's not a free world.
She's a Brit.
and you're Welsh.
So
Oh man, I'm gonna fuck a sheep with such anger today.
you know the story of John DeLorean, don't you?
The Northern Ireland dude made the DMC.
Well, he's not Northern Ireland. It was in Northern Ireland.
He started the plant.
He started the plant. You know who John DeLorean is?
yeah.
The guy who invented the car, the DeLorean.
Yeah.
Was he
Out
a
of
Nazi
Back to the
or
Future.
something?
No. He was a drug dealer. No, it wasn't even that he was a drug dealer. So he basically embezzled a shitload
He
of
was a
money.
stone cold lunatic, like.
Oh yeah. But he embezzled loads of money from the English government to set up the DeLorean factory in Northern Ireland. And then I don't know whether it was the FBI or the CIA.
FBI.
Literally, what's called entrapment.
Yes.
They basically said to him, "You're in a lot of debt. You're going to get into trouble if you bring over drugs for us. Then we're good to go." That type of thing. They were recording the whole thing and they set him up. So it was entrapment. He did get away with it eventually, but what a terrible car. What a piece of
But a lovely
shit.
finish on it.
And
stainless steel car.
Brushed off.
Badass looking though.
Yeah.
It was badass.
Badass looking.
Brushed
The gull wing
steel.
doors, like they're just.
Oh yeah, over the
With
top.
the glass on top.
Awesome.
Yeah, they're very nice.
But not one panel was the same, and not any one panel was the same on the car.
Hand built, baby.
Well, to
All
be fair,
hand-built.
it was made by a bunch of lads in Northern Ireland.
Northern Ireland.
Same as building a hair.
Many DeLoreans were made.
Oh, I don't know.
Go on, have a guess. I'll Google it.
One of the most desirable cars in the world.
At the time, yes.
Still now.
Do
you know pretty well.
It's a cult following, and I don't buy into it.
Do you know how there was a guy in
way more than I thought.
There was a guy in Mayo, and he was selling
9,000.
Oh, okay. I was thinking 12.
What was that?
9,000 DeLoreans were made.
Oh, okay. There was a guy in Mayo who was selling a DeLorean that he made look like the DeLorean from Back to the Future.
Yeah.
35,000 euros.
Mm-hmm.
No, but if you want to buy a regular DeLorean, they can be in and around that as well.
Yeah, the shop.
Oh, yeah.
They're a solid investment.
There's
If
a
you
guy
want a
knocking
cheaper
around
investment than a
Wicklow.
house, a good car.
There's a guy knocking around Wicklow and one he painted red.
Oh, what the fuck?
What the fuck?
And everybody in the owners club fucking hates him.
Boo.
Yeah.
But you know what it was? It was so dinted that it would have cost him a fortune to get the dints pulled and redone, get the car
He
refinished.
didn't just paint it silver, no?
No, he just slapped a lock of fillers into it
And then just painted it.
Oh,
Yeah, but see, technically you couldn't. It's stainless steel. It's brushed steel.
Yeah.
So
You'd have to do with a primer first.
You couldn't paint that silver. It would just look this. It wouldn't
You
look
grind
like
into
that.
it with 800 grit sandpaper and then you prime it.
Yes, but then you can't spray paint it because it's a brushed steel finish.
Yeah, which you've sanded away.
Yeah.
You've scuffed
Exactly.
it.
Yeah.
You've
So you'd never be able to get the original effect.
Oh, you would.
Again.
You would.
But you'd have to send it off to be refinished by a specialist crowd.
Yeah, the effort.
The fucking
I have a
effort.
big little long commentary from
It's
JJ.
just a fucking car.
Mr. Alejandro.
Alejandro, God forbid we ever got invaded by aliens. The whole world's fucked. We can't even look after our own. People, including myself, move out of their corrupt fuck countries, not to self-benefit, but for the future of their kids. There's no
100%.
benefit for myself as an engineer. I make less here than I did back home. I don't have any benefits. I can't vote. So I have to say I'm here. I work. My family is safe. I'd much rather be at home than in any other country. It's not about benefits. We're human and we just want to live, provide and give better what we ever had.
Bravo. Bravo.
Yeah, we
done.
agree.
Yeah, I totally agree.
So fuck off back home.
No, South Africa's going further and further and further and further down.
And you were just happened to get further and further away from that microphone as you said that.
Yeah,
for dramatic effect.
Oh, okay.
Bye.
That's terrible.
Fun stuff.
Anyway,
This is the
fuck
fun.
that topic. That was the least fun topic we've ever done.
Might be. It actually might be the
I
least.
think it was the most controversial.
Yeah, but see, you're trading controversial for viewers.
No, I think people like controversy. Hence the reason why all these murder, CSI type of shows
Do really
work.
good, yeah.
True crime podcast, man. Oh my
And
god,
they're doing-
Is that a thing?
gold mine.
It is, yeah,
a
yeah.
gold mine.
What, they just talk about stories from...
Yeah. There's this English chick, and she goes through them, and she spent like a week fucking researching the story, and then she'll do like a fucking 2-hour video of her talking to a camera about it. Oh, the views.
And they're going massive, are they?
Huge, massive, massive.
That's a lot of that be down to the quality of the research as well, though.
Yes.
100%. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you could rabble on for 2 hours and you might not get a view.
Yes.
But like if you're able to tell the story,
Solid
and explain
points.
it,
I don't know where she's getting her information because it sounds like she has court reporters, stenography reports. She's got every fucking detail of
A lot of that could be available through FOIs, like.
What's
I'd
her
say it is. I'd say it's a lot of
What's her name?
I can't remember fucking name. I'll have it for Thursday.
Yeah, let me know who that is.
Yeah.
But yeah, those true crime, not documentaries, podcasts. There's actually true crime podcast on Spotify. Not that I'm recommending it to people. You should be listening to Supernatural Dogshit, but it's really good.
Yeah.
But it's that dark side of us that wants to know.
Yeah.
Isn't
the curiosity.
Isn't it amazing that you watch a movie where there's
Marie Claire?
No.
Just checking. Go on.
Could be.
When you're watching a movie and there's a bank heist and you're going, I hope the guys get away with it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but when you watch a murder,
Like Inside
thing,
Job, that was a beautiful movie.
Inside Job.
Oh, Inside Man, sorry, Inside Man.
When he hides in the bank and builds a wall. That was an amazing movie.
Digs a shithole.
I give that movie a solid 8 out of 10.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have you seen it, Mr. Quinlan?
Inside Man.
Inside Man.
No.
Denzel Washington. It is
I
Denzel.
have. Yeah, Denzel Washington and Clive Owen.
Denzel Washington is the...
Jodie Foster's in it as well.
Yes, but what do they call him? The guy is...
If you want to see a horrible
go see
murder
it.
movie where you don't really root for anybody, Eden Lake.
Never heard of it.
Oh, man.
Good movie?
Oh, it's so fucking good.
Yeah, why?
Michael Fassbender. Oh, it's so fucking
Michael
good.
Fassbender, so it's a new enough movie.
It's 2008, is that it there?
2008, yeah.
Yeah, 2008.
What a fucking film. And wow, lovely twists.
Ooh, I do love
What a twist.
See, unfortunately, most movies these days...
You can see the twist coming.
You can see the ending a mile away. I love when I'm at the end of a movie and going, shit, I did not see that happening.
If you want that to happen more, put up with subtitles and watch Korean films.
Really?
Yeah, because we have this whole Shakespearean thing where it's like, oh, here's a person, here's what they're like, oh, here's their adversity, here's them overcoming it, here's the conclusion.
Yeah,
but Korean
and you
films,
can tell by minutes.
Yeah, Korean films.
Yeah, but see, I have a huge problem there.
Subtitles. Yeah, no.
Because I'm dyslexic.
So dubbed. There's dubbed versions as well.
Dubs are awful as well. That's what I was going to say as well with subtitles. You end up reading the subtitles, not watching the movie.
Yeah, no,
exactly.
like think when I'm watching a dub thing, you kind of just have to let go of following the lips, and you have to watch more of the scenery and the setting.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
The problem with dubbed Tartan Asia films is they're dubbed terribly. But
Yes.
their subtitles are done perfectly.
This is very true.
Because they change the cultural subtitle. They don't give you direct translation.
Right.
They adapt it
Yeah.
for English ears.
Have you seen the movie Kung Fu Fists of Fury?
No, I've seen Kung Fu Fury though.
Is that the one where the man is talking? And his mouth keeps moving like this.
So basically, there was I don't know what year that was made in, but
74 or 75.
No. There was
Real old.
No, this is a comedy that was only brought out maybe 10, 15 years ago.
Oh, is this the Don't Go Through the Meadow?
And they superimposed a guy's head on the main actor's body in this old Chinese movie. Now, it's very well done.
Is it a comedy?
It's a comedy.
Okay, hold on.
But it is a 10 out of 10 for humor. It is so funny because it is...
Kung Pao Enter the Fist.
Kung Pao Enter the Fist. That's
Got
the
you.
one.
From
Have you seen it?
2002.
It is hilarious.
Don't go through the meadow.
That's the Chinese girl, and all she ever says is ew, ew, ew.
No, I've
That's
never
all
seen
she
it.
says
I need to watch that.
throughout the entire thing.
It's worth the
very
watch?
funny, yes. Yeah. And you also see a cow milking itself all over your man's face.
Wait,
Him kicking the shit out of cows.
Yeah, kicking him straight in the udders. Why we're saying him in the udders? It's
how
horrible.
does the cow milk itself? Like
Stands
stands
and
up and just goes.
Yeah.
Sounds fun.
Ambidextrous.
I'm in. You got me with that.
That's the second time
Obviously, it's not real, Richie.
That's the second time I've seen you scratch your ear tonight.
Yeah.
Is there something?
It's this. I've been wearing headphones for nearly 10 hours today.
Ah.
He wears them work all day long, all day, every day.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
Work is noisy, and I like my headphones. And
I think we need to get more comfortable headphones.
Does that mean nobody talks to you in work then?
I try to talk to people as little as possible.
Yeah, I get
and do
that.
as much work as I can just to get through the fucking day.
Just make it busy.
If you're changing headphones, you're going to get some lovely Supernatural Dogshit stickers, stick them on these and give them away to good listeners.
Yeah, we could do.
Nah, I want a copy of these pairs. I'm getting these ones.
I gave Frank a hat.
You gave Frank
After
a
a proper sanitation, of
well,
course.
we do in the new year. We have so many plans. Just that we have to get around to. Yesterday was a busy day for me and the lads.
You got loads of stuff done yesterday.
Loads and loads of stuff done, but hopefully in the next maybe 5 to 6 months we will be in a brand new studio. When I say brand new studio, this thing is going to be the Dog's Bollocks, or the Supernatural Dogshit's bollocks.
There's going to be a stage for performing artists.
Yes, there's going to be a massive desk that like 6 people can sit around and chat away.
Loads of mics.
Lots and lots of microphones.
A bar.
Fancy. I was thinking about putting a bar in. Like actually in the studio, not outside the studio.
You can turn around and get a little drink.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when the guest comes in, you go,
Pint?
What would you like?
We have Guinness and Guinness.
And you,
I like that idea.
I'm.
You fan of the Guinness?
I do.
I love
a Guinness.
I don't know who would.
I'd say Guinness and Erdinger, and if they don't like that, they shouldn't be on the show.
No, you'd have to have another white wine there just in case.
You would.
Oh, no. The wine fridge is separate.
Yeah,
I'm just talking tap. I'm just talking tap.
All
fair
the
enough.
spirits.
Ooh, Carlsberg on top.
No, Heineken.
No, Carlsberg would be Heineken in that
I
situation.
wonder who's paying for all this.
Yeah, I got
The listeners. No, the listeners.
YouTuber.
With the monetization.
Yeah, that won't happen for at least a year.
Well,
Who do you think is going to be paying for the fucking studio?
you.
All of a sudden now we have Guinness taps in, Heineken taps. What did you say?
Can we get
Carlsberg?
stripper poles?
Cocaine
fucking-
flown in from Colombia.
Yeah.
hookah pipes.
This sounds good.
Yeah, it sounds like a really good studio. It just sounds like somewhere to get off your tit.
Yeah. Podcast is secondary.
If there's any lighting experts,
Now that he
out
said
there,
it, my ears are at me.
if there's any lighting experts who listen, we do need advice on lighting.
I think what you should do
I'm terrible with it.
is bring Ed down and get him to gel it up.
Well, not in here. So for the new studio, so
It's a new one.
I have the new studio built in my head, so you guys can't see it. But all I can tell you is the old studio that we had with the brick effect that was on the wall. I want the exact same thing in there, which does darken the room.
That's the
down
one
a
you
lot.
copied. The one you copied off Stephen Crowder.
No, Stephen Crowder's is red.
Sorry, excuse me.
What?
You didn't copy it. Every fucking podcast has brick wall.
Yeah, okay,
Like
fair,
Joe
fair,
Rogan
fair.
had brick wall.
Yeah, and we are the
everybody
only
did it.
one with
Did Joe Rogan? Oh,
black
he did.
brick wall.
Joe Rogan's new studio is awful.
It's terrible.
It looks like you have to walk in and crouch.
Amazing.
No, take a look at Joe Rogan behind him with the red wall. You can see the bad job they done painting the wall.
It was done in a week.
Yes, in a week. But this was
This is done 3 days, 2 days.
2 days.
Yeah, and it's pretty shoddy. But
Hey.
No,
it's shoddy as fuck.
I have to agree, it's shit.
Okay, it could be better. Yeah.
It could be better. But listeners, send us in shit and we'll stick it on the walls.
Send us in your fucking money.
The address is there, guys, on the comments. So you
Yeah,
can
12
send us
Dominic
stuff.
Street, Mullingar.
What was I getting to with Joe Rogan studio? That's a stopgap. He's alluded to this because he's trying to build a comedy club with a podcast studio in it.
Oh, very nice.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
See, the reason why I'm looking for a lighting expert is because it's very hard to light up an individual in a dark room that's like naturally dark with dark walls. So
You're looking at lamps. Lamps are your friend.
Backlighting as
But
well.
see, also what I don't want to do is to have lights in people's faces that make them uncomfortable as well.
No, that's why you have all the lighting, like ideally below the individual with some ambient lighting as well. And you're talking about like a couple of little low light sources rather than it all pooling from one direction.
From the one direction.
To kind of minimize your shadows and stuff like that. Like, it might.
You found your lighting guy.
I think we have. He does do lighting.
But actually, yeah, you showed us your sexy codpiece. No, it's not a codpiece. You didn't show us a sexy
Honest to
codpiece.
God.
Oh.
Get Ed down here for the
Yeah.
gel this motherfucker up.
For that there.
Yep.
Yeah, but that's an easy one. We're going to just put orange over that. And I'm sure the listeners are going, we don't give a shit
About your
any
studio.
of this.
To be fair, since you guys were having an argument, the numbers have gone up. So hey,
But what I have to say is, see these stupid thumbtacks in the wall? You won't see them next week.
Good.
oh, you're getting rid.
You get a staple gun.
Yeah, no.
No.
There's going to be a strip going down here where it's kind of like I don't know what you call
Coving.
it.
Coving.
A plastic sleeve with a diffuser over it, and there will be LED lighting
Oh,
through it.
profile it's called. It's
Yes,
called profile.
profile, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to have
lighting
them.
up and lighting down.
We're going to have them.
No, it's
next
just for diffusing. Like, you can
Yeah.
get, like, there's about 7 or 8 different types that you can get.
We're going to throw a wild card question out to the group.
week. Go ahead. 085 27
27
27
212. The Grand Tour. Clarkson, Hammond and May.
Yes.
You've to kill one. Who is it?
Clarkson.
Hammond.
Hammond's gone.
Hammond's
See you
gone.
later, Hammond. Sorry.
No,
I'm not killing May or Clarkson.
I'm a huge fan of Richard Hammond.
I'm a bigger fan of Jeremy Clarkson.
and James May.
No, I think
He's expendable.
I do think that my favorite person in that entire show is Richard Hammond.
What?
Yeah, even over Jeremy Clarkson. Yeah,
I love his engineering shows.
Fabulous shows.
Fucking brilliant.
Clever guy.
Very nice, clever guy. Suppose he had to rebuild his brain after it got mangled in that.
Yeah, it didn't take him long either.
Two accidents that he had when he was driving the lady shaver car, the Rimac. What was it called?
The Rimac, yeah.
Yeah.
For anyone whose stream crashed, just refresh it there, guys. You'll get it back straight away.
Oh, did the stream crash?
Crashed on me, but it's fine. We're back.
No.
We're back.
Ooh.
You know,
We back.
How's your bandwidth?
Can you do me a favor? Can you go over there and slap him in the back of the head?
Oh, for what?
Don't move.
There we go. And I tell you why, because I told you not to be doing that.
Do what?
Are you watching us sitting here?
I have to because the comments are here.
Because all you're doing is eating the bandwidth.
Yeah, well, it's sorted.
Get Musk on the go here.
Who?
Elon Musk. He just wants to increase bandwidth everywhere.
He does. He also
With
wants,
Skynet.
What do you think of the Neuralink?
I mean,
I think it sounds a bit fun, and like, you know, Demolition Man sex scenes can be a reality.
Ooh.
No. All about the fucking analog, man.
I know, but sure, it's not bad for quarantine, like.
Sandra Bullock and Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
What a scene. I am the law.
What a film.
Which
the original Judge
Dredd with him.
Oh, amazing.
Did you see the new Judge Dredd?
Yeah, shite.
Fucking awful.
God, awful.
The other guy tried to do the I am the law.
And
it just did not work for him.
The problem is we're in the age of the remake. It's either Marvel Cinematic Universe or a fucking remake.
I don't mind remakes. Sometimes, it's very rare.
Were you not just giving out about
the
generation of remakes recently?
No,
everyone's remaking stuff.
Was not
like what about
women remaking
what
stuff.
about the Italian Job remake?
Shite.
Yeah,
shite. Yeah, terrible.
See, it dates the fucking film too much. Like, we like the throwback films because they're dated to then.
But not even that. Like, the original Italian Job ended on a great cliffhanger.
Yeah. Right, lads, I've got a great idea.
You know that Michael Caine actually, there was a guy at a party.
Yeah, I know the story.
The story.
The same thing popped up in my head.
I don't know this.
They thought he was a drug dealer. Because they kept hearing him saying Michael Caine, but they thought they were saying Mike Cocaine.
No, because people were going up to him going, Mike Cocaine, Mike Cocaine.
So I have That's good. This is going to look very sexual to any of our viewers out there, but I have to fix the LED lights under here, so bear with me a second.
You're just going to lean down.
Yeah, you're just coming over here.
Sorry, guys. We need to get one of those blur things. Just pixelate. Yeah, pixelate the shit out of them.
Just because he heard Pierce likes to swing either way.
Yeah, well, look.
Wait. It smells.
You could have just asked Pierce to do that rather than going over and doing that.
Nah, he wanted to put his hand between my legs.
Look, we all do.
Not me.
Well,
Pierce, when was the last time you had a shower, man?
Probably before work today.
Oh, there's a bit of a smell of gooch there.
Man puns.
Yes, you should invest in some man puns.
Yes.
What was it, only $85 for a year or something? New economy size pack? I can't remember.
Are they made from good hair?
What?
No, if you listen back to the ad, you'll...
Okay, I'll go back to the ad. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention to it.
You don't get the man pun thing? No?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
It's for sweaty gooch on the dance floor.
Ooh.
However bad his smells, I guarantee you mine smells 100 times worse.
I bet you mine smells worse than yours.
Because why? Because you haven't showered about 3 days?
No. Have you ever... Now, here's one... Well, I'm going to ask 2 questions. First question. We all peed in the sink?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Today.
Not a regular.
Okay. Yeah, no, but we've all peed in sinks.
Yes.
It seems to be that most men like to pee in sinks. Don't know
It's
why.
like your own little urinal.
I do favour
I wouldn't go
outside.
that far, like, it's more of an emergency situation, like.
Oh no, I have often just took it
Instead
out
of going to the toilet.
rested it on the sink and just let
Because
it go.
there's no aiming involved. You don't make a mess.
Yeah, and you can
Run the taps.
hands free. It's like
Oh, I
Bluetooth.
don't know how you do that, man.
No.
Because the cold touching my pee-pee. Ooh.
No, I don't mind that.
Yeah, it's kind of nice.
No, but I have very little feeling in my
Isn't
penis.
it the worst feeling?
No,
when
that's not
the-
even that. It's like after you piss in the sink, you have to fucking clean that sink, like.
Run the tap and a bit of bleach. Job
Yeah,
done.
because you have an S-bend in it.
Okay, so run the tap and a bit of bleach.
You might have to leave it run for so long that a toilet flush would be more economical.
Yeah.
I can't remember the second question I was going
And
to ask.
then, not even that, like, but like, lads, have you ever stood at a urinal and in shorts and you can feel a bit of splatter coming back?
Yes.
So you can imagine what it's doing to your kitchen.
It's a badly designed urinal.
Whoa. Who said it was the kitchen?
I implied from what you were saying it was the kitchen.
No,
So you walk into the bathroom and piss in the sink.
Instead of using the toilet that's right
Yes.
there, yeah.
And I tell you why I'm asking this, because the other night I was in Millie's garage, Yup Millie in
Yup,
Mullingar.
Millie!
Beef to the heels like a Mullingar heifer. Yeah.
I was busting for a piss, so I said to the lads, can I use the toilet? Ran in, and I was about to have a piss in the sink. Yup. So, and I noticed that they put the sink up a little higher than they normally do.
Yeah, so you can't piss in Millie's sink.
You ask people to send us money, there's our first euro.
Yeah.
The podcast has turned.
Yeah,
That's
we've turned
it.
the corner now. That's it. All our financial issues are over. We're going to have to get Securicore to fucking give us a lift home with this shit.
Sure, all you have to do is hit print 5 times and you're away.
We're gonna need a Brinks truck for that stuff.
So, yeah, Millie's, his sink is up here, and I couldn't piss in the sink, and I was really going, fuck you, now I have to piss into the toilet.
I don't get pissing in the shower.
No, I do.
I pee in the shower.
Piss on your feet. It's very good for you.
What?
Yeah, piss on your feet. Seriously, especially if you have athlete's foot and stuff like that.
Kill the bacteria and shit.
Yeah, genuinely, when I was in the army, one of the things that he taught us was that when you're out on the battlefield, you're not going to get options to clean yourself. Piss on your feet because piss is sterile.
Maybe that's a shitty thing to tell new guys, so they'll piss in their feet and go for a massive march.
It could be a joke, a long-running joke.
Could be a nasty inside joke.
Have you ever seen the really, really bad trench foot from the army? Like the holes in your feet?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's some... You know, that's a phobia.
You know, there's actually...
Trypophobia.
Yeah.
My daughter's trypophobia. She can't look at a cheese grater.
Jess is trypophobia.
You know, there's...
Oh, yeah, no, Jess. I forgot.
Maybe it's a Jess thing.
It must be. Comment in, let us know.
Nathan, did you know?
Did you know that the King of Hearts is the only king in the deck that does not have a mustache?
No.
There you go.
I thought that was the only king that only had one eye.
Top of my head.
No, King Heart's 2 eyes.
Okay.
Check. Yep, I'm right. Without a mustache. Okay. So I got one. Hey,
Mr. Quinlan.
Skip me.
You can have my second one. I got 2.
Mr. Quinlan.
You want this one?
Use your goddamn brain.
Did you know?
Yeah.
That playing dance music wards off mosquitoes.
No, I feel like you're lying to me.
No.
Read it off his screen.
Because dance music is a high and low frequency, and it actually wards off mosquitoes.
Okay, so
raves are good for mosquito control.
There you go. Did you know?
Did you know? So, Mr. Fox, did you know?
Ah, lads on the spotlight.
Yeah, that's how I felt.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't have anything else to help you.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm here fumbling.
Help Richie.
Give us like a pharmaceutical. Did you know?
Something that we mightn't know.
I might know.
Did you know you can't mix these drugs?
Go on.
Which drugs?
You shouldn't mix grapefruit with any drugs.
Why? Is it an inhibitor?
It's an inhibitor of your enzymes that metabolize drugs, so it can
detoxify your blood.
Yeah, basically, yeah. It's called the grapefruit effect, and they inhibit CYP3/4A and CYP2D6 enzymes, among a few others.
What's that in layman's terms?
They're ones in your liver, and that they're part of the first part of metabolism. So basically, when you take a pill, you take like a medicine, a tablet, anything, it goes into your stomach, and the liver takes its cut. It taxes it basically. But if you have grapefruit first, it stops that tax. It blocks it, and you end up getting the full whack out of it.
So if you were to take, say, a codeine-based medicine that can have psychoactive effects, if you ate a hip of grapefruit first, those psychoactive effects of codeine would be prolonged.
Yes, and come on more quickly. But at the same time, you're gonna you run the risk with plenty of other medicines of ending up in a dangerous situation. So I don't advise it.
I have a pharmaceutical, did you know?
Okay.
Oh yeah, go on.
Please do.
Did you know that runner's high is a real high, and it's created by your own body?
Yeah, it's endorphins.
Yes.
They found out as well that your body produces endocannabinoids.
Of course it does. That's why we
But cannabinoids.
We've cannabinoid receptors.
Your own cannabinoid receptors.
But you said our body produces.
Yeah.
But endocannabinoids.
Okay.
Not just regular THC.
Okay, so what's endocannabinoids?
Endogenous ones from your own body.
Right. And that's what the feeling of runner's high is. You're actually stoned.
You know,
I've had it.
You wouldn't think of being a fat bastard, but I've had.
Have we millions? But you get it from like exercise, and if you lift a heavy weight, like it can it does the same.
It's your
for
body's reward to say, right?
Yes.
You've done a good job. Calm down now.
Yeah.
Enjoy
yeah,
that.
come here, lads. How's your whole weight thing going on?
Oh, fuck off.
We haven't done that. I haven't got any bigger.
I'm exactly the same weight.
Fair enough.
I'd say I'm the same as well, yeah.
I'm still 86 on the button. You're
So-
going to get really fat really quick.
Did you know? Did you know that scientists have now figured out how we can live longer?
How?
Oxygen baths and bariatric chambers.
No.
Putting the clocks back an hour every week.
No. Going back. No. That you put
Yeah, just 3 in the morning.
He got his joke wrong. It's putting the clock forward.
Still good.
Still just as fucking funny.
Yeah.
So yeah,
We knew what you meant.
Down Angeles at 3 in the morning, like.
yes. So apparently they have figured out how we can live longer. Now I can never remember the name of this gland. There's a gland here.
Thyroid, parathyroid.
No, it's go again. It begins with a P.
Pituitary.
Pituitary
Yeah.
gland.
Thanks, Bear.
So apparently, this is the thing that controls why.
Fucking
we
3
age.
glands there, and I got the other 2.
You were missing the daddy finger.
Look at the draw.
But yeah, apparently this is the thing that makes us age, and it gets smaller as we grow older. If you look at the case of Gabriel Fernandez, the child that was there was, what was it called, the trial of Gabriel Fernandez, the kid who was murdered by his parents. When he was taken in, they done the autopsy on him. They noticed that this pituitary gland was shrunken down to the size of a pea, where it's supposed to be massive in a child.
Yeah.
But so as the older we get, the smaller our pituitary gland gets. So they have figured a way to reverse that. So they're saying that we could live up to 180 years of age.
I'd like that.
I'd like
I
that
would
too.
love that.
Imagine being 180 and fingering an 18-year-old.
But here's the thing.
A boy Bilbo.
You know where my mind's at.
I'm going to cut the camera right now.
Made them feeling a bit touchy.
Oh my God.
They also said though, people were going, oh my God, 180, you wouldn't want to look 180. No, you won't. The aging process will also slow down as well.
Yeah.
So you would look like a 30-year-old for maybe 30 years.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's slowed down.
It's slowed right down. But
I have a
figured
joke
this out.
sent in by a listener.
Oh, please.
A what?
A joke sent in by a listener.
Oh, hit it.
And this guy is a sixth sense humor like myself, and this one has just tickled my pickle just right.
Okay, well, I'm getting ready with this because every time you just laughed, you blew the ears out. Come on.
Picked up a hitchhiker. Seemed like a nice guy. After a few miles, he asked me if I wasn't afraid that he might be a serial killer. I told him that the odds of 2 serial killers being in the same car were extremely unlikely.
That is good.
Shout out to Willie Conte.
Yeah,
That's good.
I do love stupid jokes.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Like
Why is it
stupid.
so? Why is it so? If you like music a bit, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Why is it so hard to see a tiger in the wild?
Go on.
Because the jungle is massive.
Wicked.
Oh man, I need a Renault 5 GT Turbo so bad right now.
Go wide on the cars like this.
Nike Air Max as well.
You got deafened.
That was the worst but best joke I've heard in a long
It's
long
so
time.
bad it goes back round on the scale.
Right. The other one I have is
Go on, son.
how do you know if hippies have been in your house?
Go on.
They're still there.
He's not a fucking. He's just a bum.
Yeah, I got a haircut. I don't look like a hippie.
He's a less charming hippie.
Hey!
There's a new game Stephen Crowder's playing. It's called Hipster.
Try not to pay my staff.
No. It's called Hipster or
Homeless.
No, I was going to say hipster or homo. No, it's hipster or homeless. That's exactly what it was.
Oh, and they look at people.
So they basically zoom up on this part of the face.
They stole that.
And you have to guess whether
Yeah.
they're
Was that the one? Is it like
celebrity juice.
Joanne.
Vag your armpit?
No, you're one from. She's dead now. What's her name? Joan Rivers.
Joan Rivers.
Joan Rivers had a game on her show. I only know this because my missus used to watch it.
Okay.
And
I love
called
Joan Rivers.
Starlet or
I'm looking at it
Streetwalker.
right
And they'd zoom in on a night of clothing this chick was wearing. They'd be like, is it a hooker or is it a famous woman?
Yes.
And they'd pick and they'd zoom back out and it could be a haggard ass hooker or it could be the famous chick.
Well, what I was watching today, they were zooming out and it would reveal a person and you're supposed to go, oh yeah, look, it's a hipster or it is a homeless. I still couldn't distinguish between them. The camera would zoom out and you're looking at them and you're going,
See, when I say hipster, I just think Galway people.
Galway?
What?
You ever walk around the Spanish Arch of about half three during the day
The
on
long
a Friday?
beanie hat.
And all you'll see is
The
the pub
oversized, everybody's wearing a shirt that's too big for them, and there's some guy trying to be really cool with some tamba drums.
Super skinny jeans.
No, but not even that, like, just crusty cunts, man. They just seem to gravitate to Galway. I don't know what
It's a great spot, man.
It's a great spot.
It's the graveyard of dreams and ambitions as well.
Yeah, it is.
Because you get to Galway and it's great, and you forget what your plan was before you got there.
Yep.
Oh, I have a question for Mr. Pierce Fox.
Oh, what the
Many's
fuck
a
now?
hungover morning on their square
It's
by.
about drugs. It's about drugs, man.
Oh, is
Mr.
it?
Fox.
Okay,
Yes,
I'm
you're-
interested.
So, and this is a genuine question, by the way.
I've won as well for you.
So, you know,
Jeez, I wish you the questions you give me time to fucking prep like you had to be offline show.
No, I just want your off the cuff opinion.
Yeah, okay.
So you know the list of medication that I'm on a nightly basis.
I know bits of it. Yeah, I wouldn't
I know where this
all
is
off the top of my
going.
head.
And you know, that's exactly what happens when you take it. It's like getting super drunk, and you will do messy, stupid things, and you're a
You
danger
get
to
semi
yourself.
blackout, like yeah.
So, For the past month, so you remember I told you I took the psychedelics. The psychedelics. When I took the psychedelics, since then, nothing's working.
Oh.
Nothing. And when I say nothing is working,
yeah,
I promise you, I told
Are you getting any sleep at all?
No, he's not.
No, like very little sleep. And if I do sleep, it's so broken that it's not considered sleep whatsoever.
Shite.
But what's happening is, like, the other night, and this is for some people this would be an overdose, but I literally took 6 still knocked, 2 amitriptyline, and 4 of those Nike pills.
Oh,
and I was on the phone to him. I wasn't a bother on him.
You haven't found out yet what's in them, have you?
No. Stone cold, sober, no sleeping, lying there staring at the ceiling.
Were you overstimulated? If you take enough shit, it can leave you overstimulated.
Because you have the reverse effect.
Yeah. You can have paradoxical effects depending on dosage.
Yeah, but considering all of them medications are downers.
It doesn't matter. You throw enough shit.
They're crashing into each other and they're not reacting. There's so much of them they can't react with your body properly.
So like you'd have receptor binding profiles based on dosage. If you throw a little bit in, because it has a high affinity for these receptors, it'll go for them first. You throw a bit more in, those receptors get loaded and other ones start picking up on bits of it, and that creates different effects.
Yeah.
So you can have this dose response curve, which is what gives rise to
the dose response curve.
Yeah. So okay, let's just take it back to drink. Everyone knows a bit about drink, right?
Yeah.
You take a little bit of drink, and you end up kind of maybe like a bit light, a bit giggly, a bit happy,
merry.
Yeah. You take a bit more, you could start getting a bit slurry and a bit fucking messy.
You're cut. You can't be driving.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's nearly after the first sip these days. But then you get on and you get a fucking blackout, pukey, piss yourself mess like.
And an Irish night out.
Yeah. and that is the same substance going into you at different dosages and creating a different physiological response.
Because it's triggering different effects because all the other doors are full and closed. It's like the
and it's overwhelming certain areas.
But see, my issue with this is this happened overnight.
I get what you're saying.
This just happened overnight. Like, I live.
Did it reset your brain chemistry?
I don't know, because I live with Ed, and you guys, every one of you. I don't think you've seen me richified. That's what we call it, by the way.
Where he looks like your man from Ice Age.
His alter ego. But you did say possibly it's happened since he took mushrooms.
Yeah, you were saying that.
So,
like, I don't know the answer to that straight off. Like, I'm not even going to pretend to know the answer to that. But like, it could be a case of, I don't know. Actually, I just simply do not know.
Because when I say overnight, one night,
like, the research on these exists, but is limited. Your case is fairly unique.
Yeah.
And you're talking about a physiological response. Like, I mean, there's a lot going on that I could speculate on.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to piss around with something that I don't know enough to give you actual advice on.
It's a total mystery to me. If it happened over a period of time, I'd say yes, that I'm too used to my dosage and the dosage needs to go up, or I need to change my medication.
But like, the thing is, you entered
like a hyper-connected state with
the shrooms.
With the shrooms, like, you know, they make different parts of the brain talk to each other that normally don't. This is what gives rise to trips and visuals and all that.
Oh, I've seen something today that pissed me off. You posted up a thing in the Siegfried Secret Stash. The meme page. Or you commented on it.
I commented
but
on
it was
it.
somebody was talking about how psilocybin is having a medical revolution in treating
they're
brain
saying
disorders.
it's cure-all. Yeah.
Not even that it's a cure-all, but it's a good step, right? And then this guy put under your comment is like, saying that mushrooms cure PTSD is like saying is the new saying weed cures cancer. It's like, they're both fucking true. There's like, cancer isn't just one thing. It's a multifaceted.
It's fucking 200 conditions in a trench coat.
It's an umbrella term.
Yeah,
it's an umbrella term for a genetic disorder.
Well, myself and yourself had a really interesting conversation last week while I was in work. Was it last week I was on the phone to you?
Yeah.
Okay, and I didn't share this conversation with the lads.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, I'm in a pretty sticky situation at the moment. Not my own stickiness.
For a change.
Magma.
So basically,
that's the last thing I was
thinking
of.
It wasn't me he was smelling.
So basically, my doctor has prescribed me a certain amount of pills. Now, I did not ask him to go on those pills. This is what this man prescribed me.
Mm-hmm.
And because I've been on them so long, I've clearly built up a tolerance to these drugs.
These are natural things that happen.
And for the guts of maybe a year or two, I've been swindling my way through getting extra prescription medication because I haven't been taking the dosage that he originally prescribed to me because I've been building up a tolerance. So I'm left embarrassed by this situation, and it didn't dawn on me until I spoke to Pierce. I was like, how do I approach this with my doctor? I'm just going to look like a junkie going in begging for drugs. And he was like, Aiden, what are you thinking? This happens to everybody who goes on medication long term.
Again, it's like what Gary Cunningham said. You're making somebody else's mind up for them.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
God damn, Gary, man. There's so many things he said in that podcast that ring true.
Like to be honest with you, like...
But it is
it's a conversation you should have with them.
With the GP. But you can imagine, it does sound like me going in like the heroin addict saying, oh,
Give me
give me more.
No, but see, they're only really trained to look out for that when they're putting out opioids.
Well, no, benzodiazepines as well.
Yeah, but like
Yeah,
more
they're on the
opioids.
controlled substance list.
Yeah.
Benzodiazepine.
All prescription drugs are on the controlled medicines list.
Yeah,
that's
but
why they're prescription
The
only.
main thing they watch out for is opioid-based
they're
painkillers. Like
looking for anything that can be sold on or abused.
Abused.
Yeah.
But it's even like the restrictions on codeine, because people realize very quickly you mix codeine with caffeine and a lot of vitamin B12 and you got a high.
Well, the
Sure,
reason
man. In all fairness, like I wouldn't often use Solpadol for a fucking hangover, but like every now and again, maybe every 2 years or something like that, it's nice just to skip one. Like
I got the codeine painkillers, and the only reason they give them to me is to stop me crying, because I had a massive toothache. When I say massive, it was rotten down to the stump.
You were crying with the pain.
Yeah, and it infected my mandible. I had an infection in my jaw, and that was going into my eye. It was going into my ear. It was shooting down my jaw. It was coming across my sinus. It was a real bad time. It was in my throat as well. Like, it was just a fucking toothache. When you go in and say you have a toothache, like I was literally brought into casualty and given injections. You know, just because I had to come down below the pain threshold so they could treat it. But no matter what they were giving me, it wasn't beating that initial threshold of pain.
Yeah.
So I had to but they gave me the Solpadol and they gave me a massive amount of it. And when I was getting to the pharmacist, she's like, no, you'll have to go back. I'll give you enough for 3 days, and you have to go back and get another prescription and come back and get more. I can't give you all this in one prescription. And your man went, oh yeah, they would have been. Yeah, that's good. And wrote me a second prescription.
Fair enough, like.
But like, it was really strict.
Yeah, no, they've gone massively strict on it because like
liability.
It's been watched more. It's been watched more. Like it's one of those ones where, you know, in an audit of a pharmacy, they'll look and see how much Solpadine are you giving out? What way is it being dished out? Like
where are the scripts?
You know, the reason why
they watch fucking Panadol. Like
the reason why I'm bringing up what's happening with me,
because you're fucked. You can't sleep and it's terrible.
Well, no. The reason why because it was only upon talking to you that I suddenly, it was one of them moments where I went, I should be talking to my doctor about this. I felt guilty.
I'm not a medical professional. Like
I felt guilty that this was my fault, that I was taking too many of them, and I genuinely felt like this was my fault. But I thought then afterwards, when you said your doctor put you on this is normal human. It happens to humans all the time.
Like it's biological, molecular biology adaptation.
Absolutely. So if there's anybody else out there who is in my position, go see your doctor. Don't do what I did. Don't sit around for months waiting and trying to...
Taking more and more and more.
You know, it's not even a case of taking more and more. It was a case of getting friends to get prescriptions for me.
Oh yeah, that's what was happening.
But you were very fucking lucky with the medication you were taking, that there was nothing else in it that would damage other parts of your body.
Yeah. Oh no, it does. But amitriptyline does.
Like if you're on an opioid, you could be fucking up your liver at this stage.
Your kidneys and liver would have said bye-bye a long time ago, along with your pancreas.
But does an amitriptyline do damage to brain cells?
Yes, it does.
Amitriptyline isn't great. Like it's an old school fucking antidepressant. Like, but
is there heavy metal in it?
No.
Even if there is, it depends on if that becomes free during metabolism. It's not necessarily a bad thing.
Like you know, there's mercury in vaccines, but there is mercury in vaccines. Same way there's hydrogen in water. Like,
and
it's got a purpose.
And there's mercury in our bodies.
Yeah.
We all have a certain level of everything in us. It's time.
There's metal in the.
There's blood. You have
iron. Is in your.
I understand that.
It takes like 400 people to make a great sword.
What?
Oh yeah, that's my interesting fact today. If you want to make a sword out of your enemy's blood, you need about 400 corpses.
Nice.
You can make a sword out of it.
Yeah, but you know the iron in your blood?
Yes.
That's actual iron. It's real
Fe.
metal.
Yeah.
It's
no, I know that. But did you say it was in your pills? No.
No. Richie was asking, was there a heavy metal in the amitriptyline?
Sorry, yes.
Yeah, I know. I don't think there is a heavy metal in the amitriptyline.
We would have known by now.
I don't think so, to be honest. Like,
no, seriously, you'd know by now.
It's a heterocyclic. Like, there's nitrogen and stuff in there, but there's no bromine. There's nothing like that. Like,
But could something like L-arginine or something like that, a supplement like that puts nitrous oxide into your bloodstream?
But L-arginine, that's a fucking amino acid, isn't it?
Yeah, but there's a supplement you take. It's called L-arginine, L.arginine. And
what's that for?
Promotes nitrous oxide in your blood.
So that's
something to do with just
that's extra oxygen being carried around.
Yeah, it's oxygenate.
Yeah.
And it helps everything.
What's the stuff they used to give to people years ago when they thought they were having? They still do it for
aspirin,
having heart attacks.
Aspirin.
Yeah. No, the explosive.
Oh, and glycerin.
Nitroglycerin. Nitroglycerin. So glycerin pills.
You get in the spray put on the tongue.
But glycerin pills do the exact same thing as what you're talking about, isn't it? All to do with oxygenation.
Yeah, but L-arginine does it in a different way.
Okay, we're probably boring the tits off the listeners now.
But I was just wondering, if you take something with nitrogen in it, and then you take something with an oxygenate that has nitrous in it, could that react inside your bloodstream?
No, not unlikely. Like the nitrogen usually has a fairly strong bond and wouldn't become a free radical or such. Like, but even then, like, you'd still be looking for.
But that does happen to people where they could have been on something for 6 months and there's a residual.
Oh yeah.
And then they get this new stuff and fucks them right up.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. You can have like fucking.
Because I know a case of a woman at the minute she's in a mental hospital and there's some dire measures have been taken.
Yeah.
But what happened was she was on a variety of prescription medications for depression and for other issues, and she hit the menopause. And her doctor didn't take it into account, and they were upping her dosage over the last 10 years.
Oh,
and she hit the menopause and
really down the drain.
Committed.
Really?
Yep.
But that's a huge hormonal shift in itself. Like,
yeah, but like the poor woman and her poor family, like they're going through hell at the minute.
I would say so. Now, look, like it's time to wrap up.
Anyway, bye.
Yes,
we're over time.
we're over time. But just before we do wrap up,
it was a very serious episode tonight.
It was very serious.
Very simple question for you.
Serious.
That was good. It ain't funny. It ain't funny.
Simple question for you. So I just want you a quick yes or no. I'm going to ask all the guys.
So it's equated to just yes or no.
Just a yes or no. So, given the fact that there's been so much evidence come forward in the US election that there has been fraud, do you believe it's a conspiracy or not?
Yes, it's a conspiracy.
It's a conspiracy.
More people voted than there are registered voters in the country.
So you believe that...
That's not a conspiracy then.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a fact.
You believe there is fraud happening. Do you believe fraud has happened?
En masse.
Okay, do you believe fraud has happened?
Yeah.
Do you believe fraud has happened in the US election?
Do you see Trump raised 181 million?
0.007% or some shite like that was a figure. 0.007% or something like that was a figure thrown into a meme. I don't know. I think that the American election was legitimate.
Okay, so that'll bring me into what I'm about to say. This coming Thursday, we're going to have the lads. We're going to have Frank and Johan in the studio. We'll probably do a bit of conspiracy theory stuff. What?
Where are you going to fit him?
Oh, we'll fit them somewhere. He can sit on my lap.
We got some dead weight here. We need to fucking cast this
off. We can. So this Thursday we're going to have the two lads in the studio, and it's most likely going to be about conspiracies. But I would love to cover the US election and its fraud, because I think it stinks to high heaven. There has been.
Are you just sad the man lost?
No. It's not about just Trump. I'm just looking at the reports.
But the whole thing's fucking cracked anyway, because it's not a direct vote.
But
that's the thing. Yeah, exactly. But from the start, it was set to fail.
Here's the thing.
You could say that from 1776.
Hold on, wait. Here's the thing. If Joe Biden, if they done a recount and everything was legal, everything was above board, and Joe Biden was elected president, I'm okay with that. But if something has gone wrong, if there has been fraud, then people need to answer for it.
No, aside from that,
there's people in Ireland who drive around because they still have fucking polling cards from God knows where, and they get their 3 votes in a day. Like,
yeah. But one thing, mark my fucking words: Trump is not getting back into office, right? One, there's 3 things on this. One, he is not getting back in office this year, right? Even if he can prove it, it's still not going to happen. People do not want him.
No, they don't.
The media have burnt him out.
No. When you say people, very small.
Do you know what me and my daughter named my new car? Trump. And she agreed. Trump.
Why?
Why? Because it's fucked.
Because it was a great deal. No, that's right. 2, Joe Biden will not last a year in office.
Why not?
Kamala Harris is your president.
Yes. Yeah. Nah, Joel do his 8 years.
This is going to be the Veep. This is the one for the Veep.
And on that bombshell, I'm going to say goodnight to everybody. We'll see you on Thursday. I'll say thank you to Mr. Nathan Lynham for coming in.
Thank you.
Shut your face,
Mr. Richard Quinlan for coming in. And also to our special guest,
Mr. Pierce Fox.
He
didn't give us an embarrassing story.
No, he did give us an embarrassing story before, so there's no point in asking again.
I want another one.
Anyway, Richie.
No.
Shut your face, Aiden. You have to do it. Back soon.
Good cast, boys.